What is up, everyone? I am International Passport. If you don't know who I am an individual who gives intel to brothers regarding traveling, stocks, and crypto. If you are new to my channel, welcome aboard. If you're an old subscriber, thank you very much for your support and your guidance over the last few years. It's a movement that's still growing. I've only had this channel for a couple of years. I think it's 3 or 4 years now, so it's still growing, and we want brothers to gain intel. I'm seeing a lot of depressed brothers out there in America, in the UK, in Canada, and it's all still a woman, telling me that the women in their community don't appreciate them for being an educated brother, and which is why I have this channel. This channel here will give you intel regarding countries all around the world where brothers are treated up very fairly. So thank you very much for joining. I have a very special guest in the evening, a guy called Theo. And before Theo introduces himself, I strongly encourage you brothers to hit the like button. We want this video to be pushed out to other brothers who need this intel, who need to be broken out of the matrix. So, Theo, please tell us who you are, what you do, and why you started traveling. Go on, bro.
Okay, so thank you for having me on. So when I was an undergrad, I was a Russian, French, and economics major. So I spent 1 year in Russia, 1 year in France. And then I had the opportunity to go to Japan. I was going to go to grad school there. So I went there and I ended up being there 12 and a half years. And so my focus is on information security, particularly cloud security. And WAF, if you notice my name is WAF, it's Web Application Firewall. That's my specialty, is defending applications and using firewalls. So I've been doing this since 1997. I was in Japan in 97, Russia in 93, and then France in 94, 95. And I've been in Ukraine many times, and I've been back to Russia a few times afterwards.
Awesome, bro. You said you do a web application firewall at the moment, or was that in the past? So what is that? Can you tell us what that is? Is that some
So
sort of
basically,
IT
it
stuff?
is you have an application on the internet or anywhere, and there's input. When you put characters into a field and you're actually interacting with the application, you want to make sure that your interaction isn't, what can I say, hijacked or stolen, or like you put your credit card information, that somebody doesn't take your identity and your credit card information while between your browser and the actual application on the cloud, so at the database or the web tier. So what a WAF does is it inspects all of that data which is coming through and makes sure that it's legitimate. There's no hacker activity coming on, something like that.
Awesome, bro. And I'm guessing it's a very lucrative career for you. Make a lot of money. It's allowed you to travel all around the world and invest in stocks and crypto.
Yeah. So if you're good at it, you can easily make $200,000 a year just doing that, and you can be anywhere in the world. You need to have a good internet connection. But when I was in the Ukraine, I was there in January. I was doing WAF activities and back to the United States, and it was a very good connection, so not an issue.
Damn, that's awesome, bro. Do you work for a specific company, or do you work for yourself and as a contractor?
I'm it's top secret.
Okay, all right, awesome. All right, no worries, bro. No worries, bro.
Even on LinkedIn, if I share my LinkedIn profile with you, it says secret on there. I won't say where I work for. I usually have NDAs and such like that in place, so I can't say where I work.
Oh, that's fine with me, bro. That's all cool with me, bro. So thank you for introducing yourself, Theo. We're happy to have you on here to give intel. So let me get straight into the topic here.
Sure.
Woman. So you said you've been to Japan, and
Yep.
so tell us more about Japanese women. Tell us, if they're good for brothers to date. Do they like brothers? Would you recommend brothers to date Japanese women? Say all, brother. Go on, bro.
Okay, so Japan was one of the most open countries I'd ever experienced for interracial dating. particularly dating black men. Um, the sisters there, like the Japanese women, really liked us, and it was very easy to date there. So there are four main areas. I mean, I'm saying this because there might be other people there who actually been to Japan, and so I want to start qualifying, talking about the regions. You have the north, which is like Aomori. You've got Kanto, which is Tokyo, Yokohama. You've got Kansai, which is mainly Osaka, and then you have Okinawa. And for black men, it represents four different markets. The Tokyo market is amazing for dating. I never had women like actively. I never saw women actively hunt down black men, and that was the first time I saw it. It was amazing. In Yokohama, it was like on another level. You had
Damn.
20-year-olds, 21-year-olds going after black men all the time.
Was that in terms of them, cold approaching you, or was it through online dating? How did they actually make it clear that they wanted brothers out there in Japan?
They first to try to get to know you a little bit. They'll just walk up to you and start talking, and they want to know who you are, what you're doing. They'll act a little coy and girlish, and they'll just. I many times they would just say, "Hey, can we walk with you? Can we talk with you?" And it would usually be her and her girlfriend, and they just start talking, and then the girlfriend would walk away, and then I would know which one of the girls was actually really interested in me, and that would be a cold approach. When I was a teacher, I was teaching English on the side on the weekends to help support get my certifications in my career. Many times the students would just say to me, "Hey, afterwards, do you want to go to a cafe? Or do you want to go to a bar?" And we'd say, "Sure." And that was the start. They were actually hunting us.
Damn. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, so let me break down the whole Japanese experience. So tell us the cities specifically that brothers should travel to meet Japanese women. Go on, bro. And tell us why we should go there as well.
So the best area where you would have probably the easiest way of dealing with it would be Tokyo and Yokohama, in particular Yokohama. The girls there just seem much more inclined to date brothers. It's on another level. Yeah. The second area would be Aomori, but it's boring. So my Japanese wife was from Aomori. It's just, I wouldn't recommend because you just might be really, really bored. The next one, of course, would be Okinawa. And then lastly would be Osaka, Kansai area. And I have to admit that the first girl I ever dated was from Kansai, was from Osaka. So
fantastic. Yeah,
it's still, even though that's the last one, I mean, they're still looking to date you. It's just not as easy. It's not like, getting gum. It's a little bit harder. It's still pretty easy though.
That's awesome. All right. You mentioned about a Japanese wife. So I'm guessing you were married before.
Yeah.
So tell us how you met your wife, how the whole connection started, and why you got divorced, if that's okay with you, bro.
Okay. Actually, she died.
So, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's
I'm sorry,
all right, bro. What happened was, as this is kind of a recommendation. I was kind of getting a little bit more serious for looking for a wife. I was 28, so I was teaching English on the weekends again, and there was this one woman who always took my classes, 1-hour sessions, and we just kept on talking. And then I asked her, I said, do you want to go out to dinner? She's like, "Sure, let's go." And that was it. She gave me her phone number.
That easy.
8 years.
Crazy. Was she from Tokyo?
No, she was from Aomori. She was from the north, but we met in Tokyo.
So can you type in Alimori in the live stream? So I think brothers want to know what that is, and because you just confirmed to us it's a great place to meet Japanese women, Alimori.
It's all the way up in the north. So there's a Misawa, air base. I'll write it down. Misawa Air Base is up there. So there's already a U.S. military presence. And so the people there kind of are used to seeing, GIs around. So they think it's okay to date Americans. But yeah, we met in Tokyo. That's the actual thing. My tactic in Tokyo was very simple. You meet in Tokyo, but you look for a country girl because they usually have better family values. And I was pretty successful in that.
Okay, so you're saying brothers should choose a country girl over a city girl?
Yes. So you
okay.
want to be in the city, but choose a country girl. Now, Yokohama is already a massive city. It's millions of people, but the girls there all have country girl thinking. So they're like a blessed hybrid. And I never saw women, again, go after brothers like in any other place. You just have to be a little bit more assured. You need to know a little bit more about what you're doing in Japan in order to do Yokohama. But Tokyo, you can reasonably not speak Japanese and actually still get dates.
That's awesome. So why do you think Japanese women are, why do they like brothers so much in those particular areas? What is it? Is it hip hop? Is it what they see on the media? Is it based on intrigue? Why is that, bro? Why do you think?
They like the feel. I would say that they like the image, and as long as you respect them, you don't say anything like Japanese are bad or something like that. If you're just generally respectful, they'll be saying how they've always looked at black people on the media, and they like the music, they like the culture, they like the look, and they just want to be no more. And generally speaking, black men in Japan spoke a bit more Japanese than white men did. So the communication problem wasn't as big, and they just were happy that the black guys were trying to learn their language. They would giggle, but it was okay. And they're just shy, and they're just like, wow, you're so big, but you're cute. And this is where it goes. They just start thinking that you're cute, even though you're big compared to them. And they just they just hang around. They don't go away. And that's when yeah, you're in.
That's wonderful. So is English enough to get a Japanese girlfriend in Osaka, Tokyo, Yokohama, and Aomori, or should brothers seriously consider learning some Japanese?
So you can get a girlfriend there, or you can date someone there in Tokyo without Japanese. This is where the problem is, however, in that you are probably a part of just her notch count. You are not her first brother. So she's hunting quite a few of them. So the Marines have deployments coming through there, right? So she might actually know the Marine and Navy deployment schedule. And then she'll also know where other black professionals are. So she's making herself available to a lot of guys. So I tended to stay away from them and let other GIs go for them. However, if you know Japanese, at least 1 year of Japanese, oh man, the amount of women you can go for is unbelievable. I mean, the quality just tops out. If you take 2 or 3 years of Japanese, you can get women beyond your wildest dreams.
Damn. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you know Japanese quite well? You know Japanese,
I
right?
speak Japanese fluently, and when I got married, we spoke in Japanese only in the house.
So how did you learn Japanese? Was it through Rosetta Stone? Was it a YouTube channel? What was the best way for you to learn Japanese?
I actually learned it in university.
Okay.
And so when I was in France, I was an au pair, and my family, they were French, but they had spent a year in Japan. and they had a lot of Japanese friends, and they were telling me about this. So then I started to get books, and I started learning Japanese when I was in Paris. Came back to the United States, took 2 years in the United States university system, but I got to the 4th year of Japanese. So when I got there, I was already literate. And then I taught English 2 years while also working IT. I was really low level. But during that time, I was actually learning Japanese, like taking Japanese courses. So by my 3rd year, I was really rocking and rolling in Japanese. I knew what I was doing. That's when I started dating fly chicks.
What is that? Is that your back? Is someone driving a car in your background or something?
No, no sound with me.
Oh, it must be mine. Sorry about that, brothers. All right. This is awesome intel so far. Okay, now I want to speak to you about, the characteristics of Japanese women. And would you say feminism is a problem there in Japan amongst Japanese women? Oh,
no.
Okay.
No, not at all. So they really do not like Western feminism. And we have stories about this. This is really good. So
go on, bro.
They really don't like Western feminism. They like some of the ideas of it, but they don't like it. And so there's like when we were there, so I came there originally with English teaching job. So like men and women would be coming on the plane. The difference was that when the men started meeting Japanese women, they stopped talking to Western women. And the Japanese girls noticed this. And so they knew not to act Western. They knew not to act like the Western girls because they knew they can get the Western guys very quickly. And the women act entirely traditional. So they're like, I'm a woman, you're a man. I expect you to act like a man, and I'm a woman. And that's how it is, straight out, from day one. And there's no like role confusion. You know your role.
This is crazy intel. Oh my goodness. Wow. And even in cities like Tokyo, Tokyo is very westernized because obviously it's an international city, a lot of Americans there, a lot of American culture there. Despite that, you're telling me that Japanese women still remain not feminist in Tokyo and Osaka?
No. The role will be very traditional. It'll remind you of the 1950s UK or the United States.
That is crazy. And is it traditional in the sense where she expects you to pay for every bill, every date, all that stuff? Is she inclined to split the bill? Does she expect you to pay for bills? Because I'm not about paying for any woman's bills. I'm not a sponsor. If you have your own bills, you pay your own bills. But is that the type of thinking there in Japan, bro?
Okay, so let me try to explain a little bit more on this one. Okay, that's a really good question. You're going to pay the bills, all right? But if you have a second date with her, there are no other guys. Unless she's speaking like fluent English and then she knows the game. So if she's been to the United States or to Western country before for an extended period of time and she picked up on game, like female game, then she might be in Japan, particularly Tokyo, and dating multiple. She might be spinning plates. So you get rid of her. But if you're talking about a girl who is like pretty much her entire life is just Japan, maybe she went to Hawaii for a vacation, but she came right back. She barely speaks English. Then she's not spinning plates. Like you are the only guy. So if she's out there their second date, she sees you as being real material, and yeah, you're paying for it. But she's not playing around with you.
Okay.
She's not going to what can I say? She's not going to gold dig you. No.
All right. Okay.
Dinner. It's a date would only be like $50-$60 in Tokyo. You wouldn't have to spend more than that.
$50-$60. That's a lot. Hey, that's maybe because in the UK we don't get paid as much as you American brothers. But that's a lot over here in the UK for a date.
Yeah,
that's around £35.
imagine there's a girl in front of you who, like, she's
Wait, hold
probably.
on. I need to know that she's gonna be my girlfriend. Like if I say I want you to be my girl, she says yes. Like no games. If I'm gonna spend £35 on you, on both of us, you have to be my girlfriend because I ain't doing no one-off dates. And you just say, oh, I don't think we're compatible. But after I've just spent £35 on you, she's got to be my girlfriend. Speak on that, bro.
As long as you're not doing like that whole like dating in order to get food, that's what I learned about when I came back to America. In Japan, that was pretty much anathema. Like that kind of idea, that kind of tactic never happened. I mean, maybe it did to other places. I never saw it happen. It never happened to me or my friends. Um, they're pretty much, you know, they're if they're going out, especially that second date, they're waiting for you to say that you are their boyfriends. If they're on the third date, they're really waiting for it. So
Oh,
it's the deal is for you to seal.
okay. How about we speak about, you know, so being in a relationship, right, with a
Mm-hmm.
Japanese woman, does she expect you to pay all the bills? I'm talking light bill, gas bill, food bill, yeah, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is she doing with her whole money then? If she works in a top company and she earns 100K a year, and I'm spending all my money on the bills, where's her money going to? You know, but what I'm saying, I don't want to be used, and I'm sure brothers don't want to be used for their money, even though we are in a relationship. She's got to pay some bills. So you're telling me that she expects the brothers to pay everything in the household?
Yeah, yeah, that's generally the way it works. So let me give you a little bit more background on this. So when I was teaching English on the weekends before I ever got married, I took a lot of poll data regarding how much money you need to have in order to get married in Tokyo. And the overwhelming number from the Japanese women was $100,000 a year, or 10 million yen. And it really wasn't that hard to get to that kind of salary. So if you are actually there and you're talking to people, you've got connections, you can probably get to that level. And it's not so hard to pay all the bills with that. Now, women who make $100,000 there a year are very rare. Most women only make $30,000, maybe 40,000, and those are the ones who are going to be most likely trying to date you, trying to marry you. Above that, those women tend to be much more rare, and even meeting them is entirely more difficult to do.
Okay. So okay, this is a bit of a shock to me because I'm not okay. If I'm making 100K a year and she's on 40K a year, okay, maybe I will pay for the majority of the bills in the house, but I do not want to be used for my money. Like, even though she earns 40K a year, I want her to be like, let's say international. Can we go out and get a burger? I'll pay. So I expect her to pay for the whole meal because I'm paying for all the bills in the house. If you're earning some type of money, you've got to spend it on me, on the household. That's how I think, because you can't be with me and you make money in your job, but you don't spend it. To me, that's selfish. What are you using all that money for? What's your thoughts about that, Theo?
Mm, you want the real information, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So it matters on how you're able to deal with your relationship with her. So, traditionally speaking, Japanese husbands give their entire salary to the wives. And then the wife determines what they're going to do. Now, you're a Westerner, I'm a Westerner, right? So we say, oh, hell nah, we ain't doing that.
Yep.
Nah, that's not going to happen. So in that case, you're paying for everything, but okay, I know what you're talking about because it's more of a Western problem. They don't gold dig you. Like they won't be saying buy me all this stuff. They won't be saying like, get me special heels or special stuff like that. It really isn't happening. Not nearly as bad as it is here. You have to tell her like, I'm paying this, the stuff I'm paying for, and then above that, if you want it, you have to go get it yourself. And she'll usually comply and say, okay, that's fine.
Okay. First of all, there is no way I am giving my hard work's paycheck to a woman I'm in a relationship with. That's just not happening. That's, to me, that is a top level of simping. You know, that's so when you go through all the levels of simping, that's at the top level, the highest level of simping. I ain't doing that at all. So I feel like it's very important to state what you want in a relationship with her. And I feel like because we're Westerners, she would understand that, you know, me paying for all the bills in the household is not common in the West. And I'm sure that she will understand that, because I ain't no simp. That's just not happening. There's no way I'll be in a relationship with a woman who expects me to pay all the bills while she makes her own money and she's not spending that. That is the gateway to getting used and abused, in my opinion. So, can we speak about the divorce rates in Japan? Oh, sorry, go on, bro. Speak on
Yeah,
that.
this is. I'll show what this is really leaning towards. So, Japanese women, particularly when they get pregnant, if you're talking about in Japan, right there, if you're living in Japan, once they know that she's pregnant, her job will give her pressure to quit.
Wow.
And they will give her a bonus, but they expect her to quit. And the society is very strict on this. It's very conservative. So basically, you're not going to have a problem with her staying, like, she's not going to work. She's not going to monkey branch on you. She's going to stay home and start taking care of kids. And this is what the actual path is. She might go back to work later on, but it's very frowned on there to be a mother and working. Her employer would look at her like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you a good mother? What is your problem? So at this case, the guy would know about this. The man. Okay, so at this case, you would know what's going on, and you'd have to make that determination what you really wanted. If you want her to keep on working, then it's time to leave Japan and return to your country. Bring her with her, and then she can work in your country.
Yeah, that's not happening. Hey, brothers are not trying to bring any foreign woman back to America, the UK, or whatever. You know, it's just not happening, bro. So, can we speak about divorce rates in Japan? Is that quite high? Is it as bad as it is in the West?
It's very low. When I was there, it was like less than 10%. The women really don't divorce. It's looked at as being very bad, particularly in the countryside. And the cities, it's increasing, but it's still looked at as very bad. Divorce rates with international marriages, divorce rates are a little higher, but it tends to be something stupid like he knocked her up and then they got divorced later on because he was cheating or she was cheating. But that's like a dysfunctional environment. As long as you're having a normal environment, the divorce rates tend to be very low. So you have pretty much a stable wife. You really don't have to worry about monkey branching with them. You don't have to worry about hypergamy. Japanese women, in particular, prize having biracial children. And so if she's got one child with you, of course it's biracial, she's going to want another. And then if she's got two, she's not going to want any other man to be around those kids and her. It's just, she's pretty much completely devoted to you. So you don't have to worry that much. As long as you don't treat her badly, as long as you, you're, even if you do have an affair, she'll probably still stay with you.
Why do they pride having biracial children?
because a lot of them think that their DNA is inferior. And so if they breed with a non-Japanese, particularly Westerner, they think they're improving their DNA stock.
Oh wow. Okay. Let me not delve into that too much before it offends people, but thanks for that, bro. Let me okay. Now let me speak to you about infidelity because I heard that cheating is quite high in Japan. Is it common for Japanese women to cheat on the men they date with? Or yeah, so if you're a foreigner, should you expect your Japanese girlfriend to cheat on you in the future because cheating is quite a thing in Japan?
Okay, so if she speaks English and she spent like a year in a Western country, no go, radioactive. Be
Okay.
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got an issue. If she hasn't, um, her the probability of her cheating is very low. If she's dating a Westerner, in particular, she's dating you and you're black, she's just not going to do it. Um, it's pretty much unheard of. The black guys will cheat, but her, no.
Yeah, I think you got a point there because I have met some Japanese women over here in the UK and they've got boyfriends back at home, but it's very clear that they're cheating on him right out here in the UK. You know, based on the mannerisms, based on my interactions with them. I personally didn't pursue it because I'm not a douchebag. I'm not a type of guy who would sleep with a woman who has a boyfriend. I stay away from that kind of situations, but I know for a fact that they come here, some of them, not all of them, you know, they got their boyfriends back in Japan. They're on here on some type of visa and they wild out. So you got a point there. So you're saying if she speaks English, if she's lived in a Western country for a year, so UK, America, Australia, stay away from her.
Oh yeah, don't even try. Yeah, you've got a radioactive chick. You've got a predator. So don't do that. Like you just tell her, okay, you go back. I'm not dating you. I'm looking at some of the comments in the chat, like the King DJ17. Um, there are some Japanese women who want white more than black, and then there's some who want black more than white. There are some who want Korean or Chinese men, uh, but generally they're open. My point here is that if they like black guys, they like them. They'll date instantly. Um, I would say number one though is actually is white. It's just that the black is a close second. It's much higher than it is the United States. I mean, it's so easy to date there. It's not even funny.
In the United States, you're saying, so if you meet a Japanese, oh, sorry, what were you saying, bro?
I'm saying like dating in Japan is so much easier
Hmm.
than dating in the United States.
Okay, okay. Thanks for that, brother. So, avoid Japanese women who have lived in the West for a year, speak English. What? So you're saying, brother, should go for a traditional Japanese woman who's actually living in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
who's more accustomed to Japanese culture,
Mm-hmm.
who can speak some English, but isn't a full-on English person. Is that what you're saying, bro?
Right. Go if that's the type. That's your sweet spot. Um, the one that looks at the culture as being fun, but they don't want to go there. So, for example, I brought my Japanese wife to America 2 weeks in 2004, and she thought of American society as being decadent, and she didn't want to live here.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Take me back." Um, we went to the UK twice. She loved the UK, absolutely into it. Didn't want to stay, but she wanted to go back again and again. She brought her parents. I paid for her parents to go to the UK as well with us on vacation. But she was totally all about UK culture. I would say the two biggest cultures in Japan would be, honestly speaking, is England and France.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're all about it.
and Germany too,
America's
right?
what?
And Germany as well.
Germany as well. They're into it. Korean, Chinese, American, Canadian, like the English, like all the English countries. But in particular, they have a love affair for the UK. When there's
Wow.
UK fairs there all the time, and there's just filled with Japanese women in particular looking for an English bloke to go date.
Okay, bro. So is it a bad thing if you come across a native Japanese woman who obviously likes Japan more than the West, but she speaks English very fluently? Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad sign, or is that still okay?
So you need to ask her where she got her English from, how she got it, and just see if she's writing the CC.
The
And from
CC,
there, the cock carousel.
the what? Sorry.
The CC, the cock carousel.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. You're trying to keep it PG. Okay, yeah, I get,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you have to try to see if she's doing that. It's unlikely that she is, but if she hasn't traveled abroad, but she just speaks English really well in Japan, it might be that she just really wanted to have a foreigner. That was her fantasy. She wanted to have a foreigner boyfriend, and so she's been studying. There's plenty of places to study, and she's really been hoping to lock down that guy or meet a guy out of the blue, and that's fine. Like, you know, what you don't want is like, you know, like she intimately knows the schedule of English teachers and when they arrive, or military guys when they arrive, and where to place herself.
Yeah.
Then you start having to get a little bit more worried. that's an issue. Or if she knows like Marines are like this, but Navy guys are like this, and an officer is like this. Okay, then run for the hills. She's been ran through. Oh yeah, it's an issue.
All right, give me a second. Give me a second.
No problem. Yeah, generally speaking, the women there, there's a lot of women there in Tokyo in particular who are from the countryside, and those girls really have like kind of a naive, innocent way of looking at foreign guys, but also for Japanese guys, for black guys, and so they kind of enjoy. Like if they could get access to a black guy, they'll be pretty happy about it. Yeah, CCela. Yeah, that's very true. If they've had an American boyfriend before, they're going to act a little different. You can kind of tell. If they've had a British boyfriend, they're definitely going to be different. And also French as well. You can kind of tell them if they've actually dated one before, and they'll actually tell you the lowdown. They'll give you the information what happened. Some of the women there, they are preying on foreigners, but for the most part, they're not. But there are those who do. They really want to have a foreign boyfriend, and then you get a group that they really like black men, and they really go into black culture. I mean, they might be wearing dreads.
Okay, bro. So let me ask you this, right? Because someone said that Japan in general does have an aging population, right? So there's more old people than young people, and not enough workers to help the old people. Is this the perfect time to travel to Japan and try and get a visa because they need more foreigners? Is that what you say, bro? Do you agree with that?
Okay, let me give you some lowdown information. So you may not have heard of Herbivore Man. This is Kusakui. That's how we would say it in Japanese. Herbivore Man started in the late 90s, and these were a group of men who just said that the cost of getting a corporate job and of like working to death and then giving your salary all to a woman is just too high, and they don't want to do that. So they just like have a convenience store job, and they don't even care about being masculine. This is going to be very shocking to you. This has resulted in 15% of men above the age of in their 40s being virgins.
Damn.
Yeah. So the number is higher in the 30s and higher in the 20s. So there's a lot of guys there who have not gotten laid. That means there's a lot of girls who ain't getting any.
Damn.
So when they look at that foreigner, like Oh well, you guys really want to know. Like that foreigner, like what they're shy. They want a relationship. Like get me that. They want that to be the end goal. They want him to stick around, but they're like, yeah, he's gonna do me. Like I want this guy to do me, and that's their real view. Like they're waiting for it.
That's crazy. And okay, let's speak about more about Japanese women. Would you say they are submissive, Zach?
Ooh, not not entirely.
Okay, why is that?
They won't. Hmm. Hmm. They wouldn't be submissive in the way that a Westerner would think submissive.
Mm,
In the marriage, if you're in the relationship, if you do something wrong, they'll tell you straight out to your face. They don't play around. They're not coy about stuff. They're very strong, and they will. If you're doing something wrong, they'll tell you about it. Like there's that communication is there, but they stick to you, and they're not going away. So they'll probably be like you're an idiot, and you did this wrong. But in a half hour, I hope you start smashing me.
damn. Okay. Okay. So it's that type of submissiveness, not full on, but half and half. Like if you're messing up, if she's annoyed with you, she'll tell you like you're doing something wrong. But after that, it's being submissive, being feminine. And yeah, so would you say they're feminine, or would you say they're half masculine, half feminine, or full on feminine Japanese woman? What's
They're
your
full
opinion?
on feminine. They are
Oh,
feminine women. Feminine, feminine, above board feminine. Like unbelievably feminine. They do
damn,
not want to be masculine at all. They enjoy their femininity, and they think women who act masculine, they think they're idiots. They don't want to do anything with them. They're women. They're like, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. That's it.
that's what's up. Oh my, I can go so much about Japanese women, but I want to move on to Eastern European women in 10 or 15 minutes. So let's just wrap it up with Japanese women. All right,
Okay.
next question for you is, bro. Social media, is that a problem there in Japan? Is there an army of simps paying Japanese women for them to buy their sandwiches from Subway? Is it OnlyFans? Is it a problem there as well? Do Japanese women get gassed over Instagram followers, Twitter followers? Speak on that, brother.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Even when I was there in the 90s, the issue of the normal Japanese girl you would think is totally innocent actually been in a porno or some sort of pornography, some sort of sex work was an issue. So if you are really into her, you really think about her, then you may want to do a background check.
Damn,
So I'll tell you one girl that I dated. Her English was fluent, and she had been many countries, and she was talking to me about, I met her in church actually, and she was talking about repenting and changing, and she told me like after I had a few dates with her that she was in porn. Yeah,
damn, in
yeah.
church. Wow, that's
Um,
crazy.
so I did not smash her. Uh,
Of course.
no, she was a great kisser though. My goodness, I'll tell you that. But did not smash that chick. Um, so you kind of have to look out for that a little bit. OnlyFans, no, they think that was stupid. Social media. So when I left, Facebook was becoming big in the West, but not in Japan. And still, I don't see that many Japanese people on there. And they have their own social media platform called Mixi, and they talk on there, but it's not anything on the level of the narcissism that you see here. You just wouldn't see a lot of photos like, oh, here I am in France, and here are my breasts. No, no. You really look at Western women like, what's your problem? But they just wouldn't do that. And if you tell them, for example, if we're dating, you have to get rid of social media, she'd be like, okay. There is an issue with simping, but it's not with Western men; it's with Japanese men.
Damn, they're the simps.
Yeah, they think you're Chad and Tyrone.
So if we come through in Japan, the attention would definitely be on brothers. Like they expect brothers to be masculine. You know, brothers have more of an advantage in dating Japanese women over Japanese men. Is
Oh,
that what you're saying, bro?
entirely.
Oh,
Extreme numbers, extremely high, almost an unbelievable level. You can get it. It's pretty easy to date. I mean, I have stories. I'm going to keep it clean, but I mean, I was tame. My friends who are still there, they're telling me what they're doing, and whoo! So I would just tell you, it's easy. Other things you probably want to know about. I'll try to keep it clean, but you can use your imagination. So it's very well known that Japanese mothers teach their daughters how to perform oral pleasure, and they use bananas for this. And this kind of
guys,
pleasure
hold up,
is
bro.
considered to be
Guys,
normal in
hold up,
Japan.
bro.
What?
Hold up, Theo. Guys in the live stream, keep it PG after hearing what Theo said. Keep it PG completely, or I will put you on timeout. Don't get happy over this. Carry on, Theo.
Okay. So they think of this as being normal, a normal part of being with your man. And also, do not, okay, if anybody's trying to go out with a Japanese girl, do not try to smash her before the fourth date. They're taught specifically by their mothers to not do anything before the fourth date. You can kiss them, but don't even try.
What?
Don't do anything. If you do, you're shot down. She'll say you want a girl who's different from who I am, and she'll walk away from you. And lastly, if you really want to meet a Japanese girl, you need to have a business card, because they're taught to only date guys who have a job. And if you have a job, that means you have a business card. Now, if you fill those requirements and you're dating, it's like fifth, sixth, seventh date, something like that later on, and she sees it's going to continue. If you do start getting a little freaky, oral pleasure happens. Like, you don't have to ask for it. She'll go right for it.
Damn. Okay. Can I speak to you about? Can I speak to you about? So you're saying you cannot do anything on the first 3 dates. Only on the 4th date is when you can get things cracking. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't be about it. Don't go for it. I mean, kind of let it be natural process. Let her get her guard down, stuff like that. But yeah, it's probably going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks for that, bro. So next question I have for you is what are the best clubs and bars to meet beautiful, dime, feminine Japanese women who are normal in the mind, you know, who are not who don't sleep around, who don't, you know, do that kind of stuff? What are the best clubs and bars to meet them?
The train.
Okay.
So I had a lot of English friends when I was in Japan, and they made this comment. They said if they were on the tube and they saw one beautiful girl, they'd be surprised. In Japan, if they don't see at least one beautiful girl on the tube, they're surprised.
Damn.
And that's the way it was. So when I was going to work, just walking to the station, I swear to God, I would almost have whiplash from looking at the women. I was like, holy, you are hot. You're hot. Oh, you're hot. You're hot too. And it was like that the whole day. And then going to the convenience stores, going out to lunch, going to the park, I just saw nothing but hot chicks. And it wasn't a fetish. They're actually beautiful. They actually keep themselves very feminine, fit, and they're starting to get better measurements in certain places in their body. So they kind of bouncy sometimes, and you're like, ooh, I can see it. And then the other one is, this is going to be great. You're going to love this. Okay, so they have this thing called Bonenkai, which is end of year party, and it's in December. And so there's various company Bonenkais or friends Bonenkais you go to. and the girls want to look cute when they go to these parties. So when in the morning, when they get on the train, they're gonna have a bonenkai. They actually dress for the party that night, and a lot of them wear fishnets. So
Damn.
they go through the entire day wearing fishnets, and they think it's just fine. And the guys, really Western guys, are looking like we're in heat. Like, it's not just one girl. You have an entire department. You have trainloads of them doing this. So what I would do, like with my black and white friends, like Western friends in Japan, we could drink beer outside. It's not illegal. We just get a drink of beer in front of the station and just watch the girls and waves go. And a lot of times we want to talk with one, we just go up to her and talk to her. There's no issue.
So it's very easy for brothers to just cold approach a gorgeous Japanese woman, and she will be receptive towards you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. I can't. I really wish I could show you photos right now of some of the girls I did cold approach on. You would think they're models. No, they're just normal Japanese girls. I mean, Was it you cold approaching in English or speaking Japanese? Both. I've used both, but particularly Japanese. But both. I could just go back and forth. And they would just giggle on them. They just loved it. And carry on, bro. What? Carry on. Sorry, bro. Carry on. They don't think you're bad for cold approaching them. They like you to do this. They actually encourage it. So they're not going to say like, "Why are you doing this?" or "Me too," or "This is sexual assault." They're like, "Ah!" And they just like giggle, and then they keep on talking to you. And even if she has a boyfriend, she may not have one anymore after she talks to you. You know, she might go out with you, particularly if her boyfriend is Japanese. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid any type of that kind of situations, bro. She's got to be single. If I find out she has a boyfriend, I'm a reasonable guy. You know, I have good morals. So when I find out a girl has a boyfriend, I end it there straight away because I don't like doing that kind of infidelity stuff. You know, I just keep it very simple. You know, but good intel so far, brother. So apart from the trains. Okay, so when you do cold approach them, Theo, what do you say to them? Do you say, "Hi, I feel like"? So what's your opening line? Do you say, "Hi, you look good. I like what you're wearing. What's your name?" Blah blah blah. How do you cold approach Japanese women, bro? What do you say? You could do the stupid foreigner line. We did this all the time. What is it? So, I don't know where I am. Where is this? Like, what station am I going to? Can you help me? I don't know. Even though I'm fluent in Japanese, like I know everything. But can you help me? I don't know about this. Oh, you're lost. You don't know? Okay, I help you. I take you. Okay. Hey, bro, come on, man. Keep it PG. Yeah, I'm like, what is this? Oh, this is onigiri. This is rice bowl. Oh, it tastes good. Let's have onigiri together. Okay. Let's have nigiri. Oh, let's talk. Oh, how are you with your family? Oh, you're so beautiful. Ah, nobody ever say I'm beautiful. Probably true. Nobody ever told her in life she's beautiful. Ah, and this is what happens. You just sit there and talk, and they keep on talking to you. And it's easy. And then if you're like, "Hey, later on, how about let's go to a bar?" 9 times out of 10, she'll say yes. That's it. Done. Damn. Oh. You don't need game there. You just need to don't be an asshole, but just be generally a nice guy who's competent, and make sure you have that business card because she'll ask for it. She wants to see your business card, and as long as you have it, she's like, "Okay, let's go do something later on." Especially if she likes you, she'll definitely say yes. Awesome, bro. First thing, please, mind language, no swearing, bro. Okay. Okay. Sorry. All right. Next one is this business card thing. So does every professional person in Japan get a business card, or do you have to make? Okay. Yes. So if you're coming over there, if you don't have a business card, but you're coming over there on, like, say from the UK or from the United States, then you need to make a business card before you go. And in particular, now you would need to actually do make sure you have email on there. Now, it would be good to use Skype in order to get a Japanese phone number, and then put that phone number on there, and then make sure you have Skype on your phone so that she can text you. And then at that point, you can start texting each other, and they are open to text. I mean,
Uh,
that's how I got my wife. I
i-
texted her all the time.
is that your work email on your work phone, or is that your personal work email on
Your
your
personal.
personal?
You don't
Okay.
actually have to do it. You can make it like they don't know any different as long as if it like. Well, so let's say that you worked at Harrods. That's generic. So let's say that you work at Harrods in the UK in London, right? You can put a logo on there. You get it from the internet and just like design it yourself on the business cards, and then they would just say, "Oh wow, you look at Harrods. Okay, we didn't know that." And then let's say you just had your emails like Gmail or something like that, and she'd be like, "Okay," or you put like a generic name like, "Okay, international passport at Harrods.com," but you said to her, "Don't use this because it's my business email. This is my personal one." Then she'd think you are amazing, and she would never use your business email. She'd actually only use your personal one.
That's what's up. Thank you for that intel, bro. Next question I have for you is, how should men dress in Japan? How should brothers dress? Should brothers dress in the 90s hip hop attire, or should we wear a suit, or should we wear like a normal shirt and chino trousers? How should brothers dress?
Like khakis,
Because
good
hold
pair
up,
of shoes.
I ain't trying to wear that those what them dudes wearing K-pop. I ain't trying to look all, you know, all that nonsense. You know, I got we want to look like a man in Japan, not looking like these K-pop artists or any celebrity. So how should brothers dress? Give us your opinion, bro.
You need to have some sort of jacket, some sort of blazer, at least some sort of dress shirt, something presentable. At least what is it? Okay, like some khakis, a good pair of shoes. You know, something at least semi formal. If you have a full on suit, black, gray, dark blue, those are the ways to go. They really reward guys who have a tie on.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
be much more receptive to dating you, particularly if you do a cold approach. They'll really want to. They'll think you're the man. Um, don't wear unless you're okay. Let's say that's Saturday, Sunday, like it's after hours, right? Um, Not Jordans, not sneakers, but something that just looks good. It should be ironed. So like a decent ironed pair of jeans
Okay.
with really good white shirt, and it doesn't have to be a color. It can be like kind of like what I'm wearing right now. As long as it just looks clean, maybe just one gold chain on. Um, yeah, no tats, and just a decent pair of shoes. That doesn't have to. Again, I wouldn't say Jordans. It would just be a good, just a good pair of shoes. She'll think you're the. She'll think you're pretty good.
Awesome, bro. Okay, next question is, how about Japanese nightlife? Is it good? Is it a good scene for brothers to date Japanese and get Japanese women?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
It's simple. If I were there right now, 'cause, I'm really not dating right now. I don't date locally. If I were there right now, I would be dating all over the bars. Um, they're just basically okay. Japanese women love to drink. I just want to say that I never met a group of women who loved beer as much as them. So you're at a bar, you're drinking. She is too. You're just sitting there talking. You're relaxing. As long as you're not putting your hands over her, like you're just talking. You're actually keeping some distance, but you're actually talking with her and just making jokes and making her laugh. She got one, got another one, you got another one. It was simple. I mean, it really was. It was. You don't need like any kind of relationship therapy or anything like that. They will just keep on dating you. It was really easy.
All right, thanks for that, bro. Do you mind speaking for a few more minutes? I need to do something very quickly.
Sure.
But carry on speaking. I'll be back in 5, 10 minutes. I need to sort out something very quickly with someone
Okay, no
else.
problem.
Thank you,
So
bro.
I'll explain to these guys what I always had. A lot of the guys there, they would have so many girls that they would date. I mean, it was just like they were running plates pretty hard. The girls would never run plates on the guys. And when it came to picking up girls, it literally was. I never really thought about one place to do it. But the one place that was really easy to do was, of course, the English schools. If you got a job teaching English, your students are fair game. It's widely accepted that teachers date their students in Japan. And you think this is incredible, but a lot of high school teachers are married to their students. Well, their former students. So, like, I'm not going to go into it, but that's just the way it is. So the girl I dated, the girl I married, she was my student. I was English teacher. I did this on the weekend. She came into my classes all the time. I started dating her. That's usually how you know that the girl really wants to date you. And if you really wanted a somewhat educated woman, and the English schools are really the best place. If you're on the train, you literally just start talking about anything to a girl and just start giggling. If she doesn't want to talk to you at all, she has no interest, she'll just be in her phone. And that just means, okay, it's no go. Nothing's going to happen. Walk on. That's fine. But generally speaking, if she puts her head up and she's looking at you in the eye and she's giggling, which is pretty easy to do, they'll keep on talking with you, and then they'll text you and they'll want to know more about you, and then they'll just be open. They'll talk. Just don't. The big thing is, don't be trying to use their bodies. They don't like that. They kind of frown on it. But if they're talking to you, they're not going to use you. But if they're talking to you and they're going on dates, they'll give you more than enough size that they want to have a relationship with you. That's when you can start having your fun. And another point that I say, because I see these guys in the chat. I'm actually looking at this in a little bit in the chat. A lot of Japanese girls are gorgeous, and they've never been told that they're beautiful, even by their father. In fact, they've never heard the words "I love you," which is, in Japanese, it's "aishiteru," but they've never even heard in English or in Japanese "I love you" in their entire lives from a man. So if you really like her, and at some point you say to her, "You're beautiful and I love you," it's like kryptonite to them. They've never heard it before. They totally melt down, and it's game over from them. It's anything you want at that point. Let me look at this. Japan is literally a real life anime. It kind of is, but anime is based upon Japan's society, so it's rather reflective. There's like, if you look like Gundam, that my wife and I usually liked Gundam. Of course, they don't have mecha running around, but the storylines, the characters, they're very authentic Japanese. The Jukujos, an experience of the Jukujos, like Juku. Are you talking about like the cram schools? Because if you're talking about cram schools, I did teach in cram schools, and there's not really any action there. It's a bunch of kids. So the best way to learn Japanese in 6 months is to, there's various books you can get online. What I would just say, this is in reference to you, Charles White. There's a basic 300 kanji that you need to know. If you know them, they will consider you to not be a baboon, and they will put you on a much higher level in terms of being a foreigner, and they'll be interested in you a lot more. Okay, the average salary income in Japan is a man in his 40s making $70,000 a year. When I went to Japan, I started my first salary was $30,000 when I was 24. At the end of 28, I was making $120,000. So if you are very devoted in your career, you can get a big jump because they give pretty good salary increases, but you have to move around. Derek Mills, what part of Japan were you in? I was in almost every single area in Japan, from Sapporo all the way to Okinawa. Kanji, hiragana, and katakana. It takes some time to learn, but the kanji is pretty easy. You just have to, this is my recommendation for kanji. Okay, just remember this. Listen to what I say this, guys, because I have a master's degree in linguistics. You will forget every kanji 3 times. So you just have to go through this process. You learn it, you forget it, you learn it, you forget it, you learn it, you forget it, and then the last time you learn it. So you can't be discouraged. But if you get through the first 300 kanji, which puts you to about 4th grade level, they consider you to be someone intelligent. I am from Illinois originally, and I learned Japanese at the University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana, and then grad school at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. They like chill central. They like all kinds of black men. I mean, I had friends who were from Ghana and Nigeria, Tanzania, and they all had Japanese wives with a Japanese side chica. It was pretty easy to get. When I was doing $120,000 in Japan, I was doing IT security. And then my final salary was $250,000. That's when I was 31 to 34. I was 31 to 35. I was making $250,000 a year. Theo, is it rare to see a thick, fit cutie in Japan? It's rarely to see a thick girl. You just don't. There's not many girls who have booty there. They really don't have booty. But let's just say their chests are getting a little bit bigger. I would definitely say that. I've been hit by all women in Japan. I mean, from teenagers, like who were under 18, because I was teaching in high schools, to women in their 60s. Tell us about the physique of women in Japan. They're thin and they taste really good. If you're working in Japan, you're probably working. You're probably working in IT or some sort of financial marketing business, and so it's not so hard to get a salary of $120,000 a year there. But you would have to have more than 300 kanji that you would actually know. You need to go to 2,000 kanji. That's going to take you some time. So if you're actually relocated and then you said, hey, in 4 years, I'm going to have 2,000 kanji. Okay. So I started learning kanji in 95, and I was at 2,000 kanji in 97 before I went to Japan. But I was crazy, and I just studied passionately, and that's why I was able to get that. It might take you a little bit more to do that. So, just take it step by step. The girls really don't care. If you got that first 300, you're a star in there. You're a rock star in their eyes. Aaron B, the peaches? Yeah, but there's a lot of girls who have big peaches. I just want to say that it's been growing. It's a conversation that we have in Japan. They are growing. It's just the way it is. The women on average are about 160 to 165 centimeters, which is 5'3" to 5'5". I would say nowadays you can easily date 167, between 163 and 167 with a C cup if you really want to know. It's not hard to get a girl who has a C cup. Darius, if you treat her well, she's not going to say no. So why wouldn't you pay for the date? It's going to be pretty good at the end. Don't worry about it. I always paid for the dates. When I was in Japan, I was working in Japan, and I have a Japanese bank account, which I still have. I have a few of them, and I was paid in yen, so I was paid locally. When he comes back, we'll talk about Ukrainian and Russian women. I had degrees. So if you're from the UK if you're from the UK or the United States, the only way you can get a working visa in Japan is if you have a 4-year university degree. It has to be verified. If you're from Canada, Australia, or New Zealand, you can just go there without a 4-year degree and work. But America, UK, no, you cannot. So it's not that hard to. I mean, if you have a 4-year degree, they'll take you and do something with you. When I did IT, I moved into IT. I was doing Microsoft and Cisco at first. Well, I already studied computer science in grad school, so they didn't even care. They liked that I spoke Japanese most, and so they gave me the job. And then I specialized in Microsoft and Cisco, and then I went to IT security afterwards. Yeah. Oh, Darius. Oh, yeah, I remember you, Darius. Hey, congratulations. Hope you do well as Solutions Architect. Yeah, I'm going to take the Solutions Architect Professional pretty soon. I was supposed to take it tomorrow, but I don't have time for it. I've been busy all the time, so I'm hoping to take it a little bit later. Which one? See, the thing is, why would you want to do game in Okinawa? Because there's so many Marines there. So most of the Okinawan women want a Marine. Like they know the difference between Marines and Navy. So they're like hyper predators. Why would you want one? I would say go to Osaka, because those girls are really much more countryside, and they'll be kind of shy to actually date a black guy, and they'll think it's kind of luxurious. So you can get some fly chicas. I'm just telling you. The first girl I dated from Japan was from Osaka. If I had her photo up here, you would not believe that I was dating her. And she wasn't the most beautiful girl in the end that I dated. You should have seen some of the girls I dated. Like, they would be 10s in our countries. Straight out. Gorgeous. Yeah, I have a white accent. You can ask me more questions, guys. I'm looking through the chat right now. Yeah, Okinawan women, they have bigger hips, and it's something that's known. So the more south you go in Japan, the bigger the hips get. And what they say is that is because of Korean influence, because of Korean DNA that's more pronounced in the south of Japan. That's just the idea. Nobody's ever proven it, but that's what people commonly say. The further north that you go, the slimmer the hips are, like Sapporo and Aomori. My wife's hips were little slim, definitely, but she had some booty, so yeah, I was pretty happy. I don't know why you would want to get a thick girl there. I mean, if you want to get a thick girl, go to the Philippines. They got really good booty in the Philippines. I'll say that. Hold on, let me think. K-pop. They like K-pop there. It's a big thing. But there's still kind of like a little bit of a taboo with dating a Korean guy. But they still do it, but it's still kind of a taboo. It kind of goes back and forth. But if they're dating a brother, they'll walk proudly out in the streets with that guy. Oh, yeah, I saw that all the time. I had it myself. Filipino women are like crack. They're very addictive. Oh my God, Filipino women. Ooh boy. I have quite the experience with Filipinos. Why would you want to get this is to Darius Harper. Why would you want to get a business visa? I had friends who did that. It's a pain in the butt. You just need to have a 4-year degree. So I assume that you have a 4-year degree. All you have to do is show it. Basically, what you would do is you would just, it's easier, much easier now. You'd fly to Japan. You need a little bit of money. You fly there. You find a job in Japan. Make sure that you bring with you your degree, your transcripts, and then a statement from your university stating that you did graduate, and then it has to be like verified by some sort of verifier in the United States or in the UK so that they know it's not a fake diploma. A lot of foreigners, a lot of Westerners use fake diplomas to get visas, so the Japanese got a little strict on it. So if you bring that and you get a job in Japan, you can go directly to Shinagawa, which is the main immigration office, and you can get a work visa like in a day, or you just get the stamp that you've applied for a work visa, and as long as you get that, you can start working. The King DJ-17, I dated quite a few Thai women in Japan, and yeah, they're good. How were the gal subculture girls in Japan? Man, do you want me to talk about that, man? That's some crazy stuff. That's Shibuya. That's some crazy stuff. I did some crazy stuff with that, like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't even want to get into it. I just, oh my goodness. When I was in my 20s, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Korean women are pretty darn good. Nowadays, they're open to dating black guys. When I was there, they were not so into dating black guys, and that's actually why I went to Japan more than Korea. If Korean women had been open to dating black guys, I would have gone to Korea instead, because I'm much more attracted to them. You said, Remy, where should brothers go for the first time? You should probably go to Tokyo, because they're more open to having you. They're used to having foreigners, like Westerners, into Tokyo. So you can go there, kind of get the lay of the land, maybe get a job if you want to, start making some money, and start learning about what you need to do in order to make it in Japan. I definitely recommend it. I mean, I have friends I can hook you up with and talk to about it. Bubble butts. Yeah, there's some bubble butts. But I just want to say this. If you're really into a bubble butt, you need to go to the Philippines. If you want a girl, if you want a girl who's highly educated and is really into you, Japan. Let me think. Yeah, computer science. Getting a computer science degree, you don't have to have a computer science degree. Just like a minor's, even a minor is overkill. Just a full-year degree. They'll take you from there and teach you more. You can have time. I mean, I taught myself Microsoft. I taught myself Cisco while I was there. So it's not that hard to do. Just get books. I mean, like this kind of stuff. I mean, I'll give you an example. Here, like this is CSSLP, which is for programming. This is for Azure right here. You could just study these kind of books and then pass the test. And in Japan, they'll be more than happy to take you. That's it. They don't really care much more than that. They're kind of practical. I'll talk about Eastern Europe next. I got to wait for the transition. We're talking about Japan more. Okay, so Remy, I'll just say Japan was the only country where I had girls crying on the telephone because I stopped dating them. This was also the only country that I've been to where girls after 5 and 6 dates were offering to pay for hotel rooms, and there was a reason. It's quite obvious, and there's plenty of hotel rooms for that purpose there. They thought they were winning to get me. I didn't think I was Tyrone or Chad. I was just Theodore. That's it. I never saw such aggressive women in my life. So, I mean, I have stories in the park. I did crazy stuff in the park, make out sessions. I mean, I would just walking with her in the park, and we'd just be having fun, or maybe have some alcohol. You can drink alcohol in the park in the middle of the night. And I would just be sitting there talking, and one thing led to another. Yep. I could have hit a home run, but it's the park. But you're going to Temple. Good. Okay, so Temple University is, of course, well known and respected in Japan. If you go there with a GI Bill and you actually study in Temple, you have a very high status with Japanese women. It's actually prestigious to do that. And so getting a job there would be very good. I'm just saying you're set. What I would do if I went to Temple is graduate from Temple, take on all the debt you want. They don't do debt collection there, so don't even worry about it. Like, take a college loan if you want to, and then get a job in Japan. You're set. You will have some of the flyest chicks you have ever met in your life dating you. I mean, gorgeous. I can't. I'm not. I'm keeping this PG-13, but it just unbelievably beautiful women you've never seen before. You can go for communications. You can do anything you want. I would say do some IT and finance, because if you do IT and finance, then an international bank will take you, and they'll much more willing to give you between $60,000 and $70,000 a year starting pay, and then you could easily go to $100,000 within 2 years if you work hard. And most of the time, you're going to work hard. So then, if you're at $100,000 after 2 years of working, landing an amazingly gorgeous woman would be very simple. Yeah, I met Chinese girls. Yeah, I dated quite a few Chinese girls in Japan. Okay, so you're going to Kent State for cybersecurity. That's good. Make sure that, sure, you can study cybersecurity, but make sure you get the CISSP, which is Certified Information System Security Professional. And that is offered by ISC Squared in Atlanta. So it's ISC Squared, isc2.org. And make sure you pass it. CISSP is the gold standard for information security. And you can, if you pass it and you have a decent level of experience with IT, your starting pay will be $120,000. That's actually how I got my pay to $120,000. I was the 5th CISSP in Japan. I was the first foreigner, and my pay went from $70,000 to $120,000 in 1 month. The working hours are crazy in Japan, but if you're a foreigner, you can say you only work 40 hours and that's it, and you can get away with it. A lot of the guys actually stay there forever in their company because they have no social skills and their entire life is the company. Whereas you, I mean, if you have a decent salary and decent career, you could do street game like crazy. So why would you stay in the company? Because there's gorgeous women all over the place. You got targets. I'm serious, Charles. I had girls crying. I had girls stalking me because I stopped dating them. I didn't smash them. I just kissed them a lot. But I didn't smash them. I had girls pissed with me. Well, sorry. I had girls really not happy with me. Mr. International, it matters how you like Japanese women. So if you really like them, then they're 10. If you don't, I mean, it kind of goes back and forth. I can't say. Let's just say I'm still really attracted to a Japanese woman, and when I see one walking down the street, I'm instantly turned on. I totally want to date them instantly. Yeah, they are. Japanese people are. This is to Nick. Japanese people are very kind and open to you, but what they say, which is I think is very true, is the Japanese are nice to you inversely proportional to the time you stay there. So if you stay there a short time, they're really nice to you. If you stay there a long time, they don't give a crap about you. So you're on your own. They're like, hey, you're here, go figure it out. But they'll still be polite to you, that's for sure. Oh, Mr. International. I can't believe you said that. Dude. Hair, eyes. The way they kiss. They're good kissers. I liked kissing them. That's one thing. I'm living in Austin, Texas right now. So I'm having a pretty good time here. I'd like to return to Japan. I would love to be honest. But I have permanent residency in Japan, but I'm just not going to go back. If I did go back, it would be either like to work for a short period of time, or I can work remotely and then come back. And it would be basically to pick up a chick and bring her to the United States. You don't need a visa. Japanese women don't need a visa to come to the United States and come over a visa for like a 90-day tourist visa, and they don't have to apply for it. They just get on the airplane and come over, and you can get married during that time period if you really want to. So you don't need to do like a 90-day fiance visa or anything like that. Okay, I'm just giving you guys information. So I'm saying is that you can go back and forth. This is very different from Ukrainian Russian women, where you actually have to think about logistics pretty hardcore from the beginning. With Japanese women, no, you can just go back and forth between your countries. Okay, so if you're asking about older Japanese women, that would be Japanese women 30 plus. And my observations are there are a lot of them. They're increasing. They want to get married now, and they want to have children. And a lot of them are absolutely strikingly gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. I mean, hot. I'm just saying. So, like, if I went back to Japan, I'm 48. If I decided to do Japanese game, I would probably concentrate on women between the ages of 27 and 32. It'd be very easy to pick up a chick like that. Like, there's not really a hookup culture in Japan because the mothers teach the daughters not to hook up, before the fourth date. So the girls don't want to be looked at as being easy. So that doesn't happen. I kind of agree with this because if you don't know somebody's psycho. So why would you just hook up like that? But if you get to know them and you're going out on dates and having fun, okay. But the thing is, they're not spinning plates. They're usually just with you. That's if it's a foreigner. Japanese girls might be spinning plates with Japanese guys. So there might be like 5 guys in her life, but she's not smashing any of them. She's just using them for resources. It's kind of like what we have here, just not as aggressive. There are leftover women in Japan. They just don't call them leftover women like they do in China, but there are leftover women in Japan. You don't need to see a picture of her. No, Remy, you don't. Well, do I have a picture of her here? Maybe I do. No, I don't think I do. I don't think I have one right here. I have to go look it up. So, nah, you don't need to see it. Aaron, you want to find a slim, thick... No, dude, no, man. Just, it's not... I mean, you can. If you really want that, Aaron, what you need to do is go to Roppongi, which is like the international hookup area. So you just go to it's an area of Tokyo called Roppongi. It's actually six trees. I'll write it out for you. Roppongi. There it is, Roppongi. And there's plenty of
What's up, you guys?
you can do there. Hey there, International Passport. I'm answering questions from the chat. So in Roppongi, if you just want to hook up and that's it, you just want to hook up and smash and you don't want anything else, the best place of actually doing that would be Roppongi. Yeah, I never see, because the thing is Roppongi, you're not the predator. The Japanese women are the predators. And you probably don't have enough street knowledge to understand that
Hold
they're
up,
hunting
Theo.
you.
Theo, should I?
Yeah.
Do you still want to talk about Eastern European women, or should we
Sure.
keep it just?
While you were gone, I'm just answering them. And my last one, I'll answer real quick. Austin,
right,
Texas is treating me really well. I love it here.
Do you feel like should we keep it all about Japanese women and have another stream about Eastern European women? It's up to you. What do you feel like, brother?
Sure. We could just keep it on Japanese right now. We can do another stream later on. Because
okay.
I can talk for like 2 or 3 hours on Slavic women.
Okay. Hold up. Okay. So, all right. Let me open up the phone lines then. But sure. I have 2 more questions for you before I open up the phone lines. Sorry about that, brothers. I had to sort out a few issues. All right. So the next one I have for you is the ratio of women to men in Japan and those cities you specifically mentioned. Is it more women than men? Is it 50-50 or more men than women?
Okay, so it's much more, in terms of dating, it's much more women than men. And this is the reason, because you have a significant amount of men who are MGTOW. So they're not in the dating market at all. So you could easily like say, women who are 25, maybe 50 to 75% of the men their age are not in the dating market.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, who does she date? And who does she really have options? This is something when I was there, I was seeing this the end of the 90s, the beginning of the 2000s. This was becoming an issue, and it's still an issue. This is why my Western guys who are still there in Japan are smashing like crazy.
Damn. All right. Thanks for that intel, bro. My last two questions are: would you recommend brothers to travel alone to Japan or travel in a group?
Either one. I would recommend, though, if you're doing cold approach, this is for real. If you're going out and doing cold approach, you need to do it by yourself. And the reason is because if you are with a group of other men and the Japanese girl is talking to you, she might feel like she's going to be gang EPAR'd by you or by the group. This actually happened to me one time.
What is that? What did you say, bro?
EPAR, just backwards, EPAR. So,
okay.
She doesn't want. I remember this one time I met a group of other Westerners on the train, and we were just going through the park, and we talked to this one girl, and we were just having this fun, and we sat down, and then she ran away in terror, and we talked about like what happened, and we figured out that she thought that she was in trouble because she was with a group of us, and it was the first time that we ever experienced anything like that. So from then on, I just made sure that if I'm talking to Japanese women, I was by myself.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, bro. My next question is there any jealousy towards brothers in Japan? Since seeing as, brothers get a lot of Japanese women in Japan, is there a lot of jealousy against brothers there in Japan? And because of that, is it harmful for brothers, because of that jealousy towards brothers at all?
Nah, I never had any jealousy. I know what you're talking about. Nah, never. It was more admiration. And the Japanese girls would look at us with admiration. Like they wanted to have us. They wanted to have our relationship. It was much different than when I walked with my Japanese wife in, say, like London or the United States, New York, Chicago, where people were looking at us like, wow, that's like an exotic couple. Like they're biracial, of course, right? So interracial, like, wow, that's something different. In Japan, no, it was more like the girls would look at us and say, like, well, where can I find a black guy? Where can I find an American guy? Like that was their thinking.
What about hatred from Japanese men towards brothers, since we get a lot of attention from Japanese women?
Okay. Their view is that it's kind of like The Last Samurai. If you're in Japan, they expect you to marry a Japanese woman. And I had more than one Japanese man say that they hope Japanese women bred with black men so that they could win at the Olympics.
What the? Yeah, I think it's important not to be fetishized. Things like that make me a bit iffy because, black people are more than just bodies. We have brains. We can be intellectual. We can, create and invent things. Right? People who see us as sports people, rappers, it's something I'm pushing away from, and all brothers should push away from. So statements like that, are a bit iffy. I feel.
Yeah, but let me kind of explain it with Naomi Osaka, the tennis player, right? The way they look at it is, finally, we have a Japanese person who can win in tennis. And it's because she's half black. So thank God she's on our side. Because without that, they lose. So they never, I'll say this. They never thought that black people were stupid. And that's mainly because so many of us spoke in Japanese compared to white Westerners. So they had a little bit more admiration. Plus, they knew that black people didn't nuke them. So
yeah.
they're like, hey, you're not that bad. You're kind of cool. Whereas the white guy, they're like, we don't know about you. So that's a little different. So I never had a Japanese person call me a monkey or use the N-word with me or say that I was stupid because I was black. They all thought I was pretty cool.
Awesome. So they don't say the N-word there. Very rare. Awesome. You know, that shows them they're educated. You know, they know the history behind that word, even though it's all over hip hop and rap. They know that it's nonsense. This is why I have problems with rap music. Too much N-word use, nonsense. You know, making brothers look bad. You know, rap isn't for me. You know, I listen to some rap music, but it's not something I follow quite in depthly because of the N-word use, how brothers portray themselves in these music videos. But that's for another discussion. All right, thank you very much, Phil.
Sure.
I'm going to open up the phone lines now. So, guys, apologies to everyone in the live stream. So, we will not be speaking about Eastern European women today because, you know, I think that should be another stream because the brother Theo has a lot of intel regarding Eastern European women. So that will most likely be next week or tomorrow. Sure. I'd have to see, but I'd have to set up that time with Theo. But I'm sorry about this. It does say Eastern European women, but there's no time. I want to get an hour of questioning for Theo from you guys. So I'm going to open up the phone lines right now and please call in. Only speak about Japanese women, not Eastern European women. If you speak about Eastern European women, I'm going to cut you off because this topic here is only about Japanese women and what's on your mind. We'll have the Eastern European women stream very soon, within a week or a couple of days. So thank you very much, Theo. Let me open up the phone lines. Let's go. Classic live stream again. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
All right, let me get.
Just while you're opening that up, so they copy black hip hop rap and also European EDM wholesale, and it's very vibrant there. So I mean, they kind of mix them together. They just like both influences, and Japanese music has actually improved, but they actually have admiration for those two sides very highly.
So I've heard about Japanese women tanning, trying to copy black skin or something like that. Is that a thing in Japan currently?
When I was there, we called them Yamamba.
Okay.
And yeah, it was definitely a thing. I was like, why are you doing this? I had some stories there. Yeah, there's some really sexy girls who did that. Yeah.
All right, bro. We got our first caller, Jay Bones. Let me bring him up to the live stream. Devil's Bane, I see you in the call. Stay on there. I'll get you later on. What's up, Jay Bones? How you doing, bro?
Yo, what's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're outside at the moment. It's the background noise is a bit distracting for everyone else.
Yeah, if you want, I can cut it off. I missed my flight last night in JFK, so I'm stuck in New York.
Yeah, yes, please. If you can please find somewhere quiet, like in your car, in your house, that'd be great, bro.
Yeah, hold on for a second, man. Let me pull over, man. I'm on a highway in New York, so you know how crazy this shit. Hold on, my bad.
All right, bro. I'm gonna put you on mute, but I'll give you 20 minutes, okay? Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Let me while the next person's coming in, let me answer a question real quick.
Yeah.
MGTOW has been strong in Japan since the late 90s and getting stronger, and they're having programs to try to get guys to stop doing this. So they have the term for it there is herbivore man, but if herbivore man came to America or the UK, it would be very recognizable as MGTOW instantly. And there are huge numbers. We're talking 20, 30, 40% per age range up to the 40s right now.
Awesome. Thanks for that, bro. Everyone, hit the like button if you've not liked this stream so far. This is free intel that you won't get anywhere else in YouTube. So hit the like button. That'd be much appreciated. That person who disliked this video, you are an absolute clown. You're not welcome on this channel anymore. And when I find out who you are, and I will find out pretty soon based on what you say in the live stream, I'm going to permaban you. If you dislike this video because I said that we won't be speaking about Eastern European women today, you are an absolute clown. Okay? So everyone who has not liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share. When you do subscribe, make sure you hit the notification button, and you won't miss a single upload from me. Jack the janitor says it was me. Jack, I know who you are, Jack. Don't lie to me. Why did you dislike the video, bro? I hope you're joking. Bro. I'm gonna permaban you, bro.
Jack the janitor, just so you know, I'm Django. Ha!
The janitor, let me. I know who you are, bro. You're a UK brother. There's no way you must have done that to me, bro. I don't want to perma ban you, bro.
While we're doing this, so Bernie, the Bernie bro. There are some Japanese girls who actually do look better tanned, and they're the ones who are more southern, and the ones that are southerners are a bit more voluptuous, a bit curvier.
Hold on, Theo. I want these guys to call in. Please avoid answering questions on the live stream. They need to call in first, because if we have 50 questions on there, that's not fair on you, brother. So they need to have commitment to call in and ask you directly. Guys, stop asking questions on the live stream. Call in to get your thoughts out. Okay, please
Sure.
don't do that. Theo, ignore the guys on the live stream. Focus on the guys on the panel. So let me bring in Devil's Bane, which is a very weird name. What's up, Bane? How you doing, bro? Hello, Bane. Bane from Batman. What's up?
What's going on? For some reason I can't hear the actual StreamYard. Hello?
We hear you.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. You okay?
Hang on 1 second here.
All right, can you hear me? Hello, brother. All right, bro. Sort out your audio issues. Yeah, I'm gonna take you off the panel. All right, let me bring in Sai Chi. What up, Sai Chi? How you doing, bro?
How you doing? It's been a little while.
It's been a long time, brother. How you doing, bro? You okay?
I'm great. I was actually just doing a little research, and I saw your live stream popped up, so I had to stop by. The second I saw Japan, it's kind of funny that it popped up, because I've been doing a little research on just like different events and how like people in like different countries, kind of like what Theo's your name, correct? Okay.
Yeah, my name's Theo.
Just want to make sure I address you correctly here. But how different like groups of people outside the US will view Black people. Excuse my hiccups. I ate a little too much. But I think it's fascinating how when you're in the US, and this is just my experience, and I think I said this to you, international passport, but from my experience, I notice girls will look at me, but when I go on Tinder, I don't get matches. But when I put my Tinder outside the US, all of a sudden I start getting these matches, right? Mm-hmm. And it's in a variety of different countries. And I even had, I've had like girls like message me first. I'm like, wait, what the heck? Why is that outside the US all of a sudden it's okay? In the US, it's like they'll look at you, but they will not date you. Now, with that being said, in regards to Japan, Theo actually caught my attention because I've been listening for maybe about 30 minutes now. I think you were talking about Japan. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but you mentioned that there isn't anywhere near as much of a stigma to being the girl who's with the Black guy, correct?
That's correct. In fact, it's a little prestigious.
Beautiful. Do you feel as though, and I don't know if you would have experience with this, but does the type of Black guy matter in the sense of, for example, because I've heard some people say, just people that have had experiences out there, if you go to like Tokyo, you have some girls that are looking for more of the stereotype. Whereas I've heard other people say, like, if you're more of like let me see, what's the word for it? What's his name? If you're more like a Carlton type, you'll do great out there. Do you get what I mean when I say that?
Correct. So what they're looking for is you need to have a business card.
Okay.
And then you should have some sort of like business attire or some sort of semi-casual clothing. So in that case, yeah, you need to be kind of like a Carlton. Now, if the girl is kind of talking about liking you because you're looking more of a thug type, run away.
Yep.
Because she's probably be in the West, or there is something going on, because that is like maybe she had dated some thug guys out of Yokosuka or like a military base.
Yep. And
she is a predator. And so you don't deal with that unless that's all you want to do is smash. Why you would stay with that chick, I don't know.
Right.
Hold up, Saichi. Let me just counteract Theo's point. So you're saying we need to have business cards, right? So you telling me, right, the average 21-year-old woman in Japan is expecting brothers to have expecting men to have business cards just to date her and form that interaction, even though she's 21, 22, 23. Because it sounds like to me, women who want business cards are more like in their 30s and 40s. What about women in their 20s? Is that the same case as well, bro?
If they're 18 years old, they expect you to have a business card.
Damn.
So, but because of this, almost all Japanese men have business cards.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, bro.
So my first date that I tried to get in Japan when I was 24, I got rejected because I didn't have a business card. And I actually asked around about this. I asked my students, and all of my male students have business cards. Except if you're a university student, that's an exception. Like, oh, okay, you're a student, but that's fine. But if you graduate, you're supposed to have a job. That means you have a business card. Even if you're like doing a part-time job, you have a business card. So that means that's the easiest way for her to say, like, are you employed? Where's your card? So even though I had a job, I didn't have a business card. She thought I was a broke guy. She didn't date me. Next week I had business cards. That was it. Done.
Awesome, bro. Thanks for that, bro. Saichi, do you have any more questions for Theo?
Yes, and this is one thing that is really of, I don't want to say concern, but just very interesting to me. And this is, I've been kind of researching this, and I'm going to stay on topic of Japan. I promise you international. But international mentioned how a long time ago, for example, when he said when he went to Germany, there's like a cultural carnival or whatever. And it's almost like, Black culture is oftentimes a lot more appreciated. And I have heard that if you go to Japan, quite similarly, there's like hip hop clubs, like reggae clubs and stuff like that. Is that true?
Yes, there are. And it is much more appreciated. And they think it is cool. And a lot of the poor parts that you have, like the lower class Black in America or in the UK, that is not really communicated in Japan. So they think of you as being like a footballer or like Obama or Jay-Z or like somebody like that. And so they think you're really cool. They want to be around you.
Beautiful. And after listening to you international talking about your experience when you went to the carnival situation in Berlin, I would like to ask you, Theo, if I were to go to Japan, would you recommend one of these hip hop or reggae type venues? I assume they're probably in Tokyo as far as a good spot to meet women. Yes, I do have the moves.
Okay. So if you did that, that would be like playing a video in ultra easy mode.
Beautiful.
Damn.
Yeah. Because you're going to have a lot of girls who have listened to that music for a long time, and they have probably never met a Black guy before, but they fantasized about one.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go into a club, and then let's just say you know a little bit of music, and you just kind of dance a little bit. I mean, you could do Carlton dance, and you just you have a business card, you look presentable, and you look at them in the eye. Done deal, gone, like done. You could have several of them do this. It would be like, again, it'd be like too easy.
Beautiful. I would like to say to you, from your experiences, and granted, I don't know how long you've been out there. Have you ever had do you have any stories of women ever approaching you or treating you in a certain way that you would never experience back in America?
Yeah, I was there for 12 and a half years, and they treated me well. Like, they treated me really, really, really well. I had girls trying to date me. Again, like I told later, as I said earlier, I had girls crying on the phone because I stopped dating them. I had girls stalking me because I stopped dating them. I had girls offering to pay for hotel rooms, paying for dates with me, like doing anything to get me out there. A lot of times I didn't really understand what was going on because I was worried about my career. I was worried about my studies, something like that. And I didn't understand just how much she was going after me. I understood it later on when I looked back, and I was like, oh my God, I was kind of blind back then. Yeah, let's just say that they really, I remember the trains, I'd have girls rubbing up against me or like feeling my body They're like, because I'm black, and they're like, I've never felt a guy with pecs like that before. So they would actually say that, like, you smell different, you smell good. That, yeah.
So, bro, why did you move back to the US? It says from Meb.
So my wife died in Japan. She died in childbirth, and I was too crushed. And then the recession happened, and I had my own company. I established my own company, and it almost went bankrupt, and I lost all my contracts. And then I lost my home that I had with her, and that was it. I was emotionally drained, emotionally crushed. Wasn't going to happen. I need to go back to the United States and crash and actually recover, and that's what I did. Got my therapy, went through it. I was actually going to go back to Japan in 2018. Decided no. Stay here was kind of a good decision because my career is doing much better here than it was in Japan ultimately, because I'm making well above $250,000 now.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to buy a house here compared to Japan. So if I do decide to like pursue Japanese woman again, I know where to go in Japan. I already have street game knowledge. I would just go there and go right for it. I know what to do. So
now you're back in America. How are American women treating you, bro? I bet you're like, I'm making all this money, but the women here are just absolutely awful. Go on, carry on, bro.
So even when I was poor here in America, I said the women are awful. And before I went to Japan, I said they're awful. Before I went to Russia, I said they're awful. When I was in high school, I said they're awful. And I kept on saying it, and I just didn't understand it because of feminism. They are absolutely abysmally horrible, wretched. I would never date them. I mean, they're all over the place. They say hi to me and stuff, and I look at them and I say, like, I know what's going on with you. You're horrible. You treat men bad. You disrespect men all the time. You think that you're a man. You don't know if you're a woman or not. You think that you make more money than me when I'm crushing you financially. So then you want to divorce me and take half and then say you're a victim? Are you kidding me? You're entitled. All this crap is absent in Japan. It doesn't happen. If you get a divorce in Japan, let me explain how it happens. There's a paper for a filing for a divorce. You sign your name and you submit it. That's it.
Damn. Okay. Wow. That quick. No legal fees. Nothing. Just get done and over with.
She gets no alimony, no child support.
Wow. What about does she take his assets, like his pension, all that stuff?
It's possible to get the pension, get half the pension. That's particularly if she had a child, she can get half the pension. But outside of that, no. But they have to usually prove some sort of cause, like he was a total jerk. That's actually kind of hard to do, and these kind of cases take usually 5 years to process. So all the lawyers would take all the money anyway. So the woman usually just does a settlement real quick, if that's really an issue. But for the most part, divorce doesn't happen. And of all the mothers in Japan, only 2% are single mothers.
Damn.
So, and also, if you are a single mother, the government tries to get you to work. And so they don't want you at home. Even if the family is supporting you, they want you to go back into the workforce because they want you to meet a guy in the workforce and get married and then be on the family again.
Can she take half your assets? So let's say you're worth $50 million, you get divorced. Can she take $25 million of your assets? No.
It's highly unlikely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
That has to be an aggressive move towards the guy. It really is just a form that you file, and then the government asks, have you agreed to your divorce? Have you agreed to which assets you're going to split up? And as long as you guys have agreed, you're like, okay, fine. If you want to go legal, don't. It's very nasty. The way that they do with the law in Japan is they don't want, their view is that if there are less lawyers, then there are less problems. So only 1%, around the 1% of the people who take the bar actually pass because they don't want the lawyers there.
Damn.
So you don't have lawsuits over stupid stuff.
Wow. It's crazy, how other countries think so differently from the West. One last question for me before I pass on to any other person in the panel.
Sure.
So now that you're in America, what are you doing? How are you handling? How are you meeting women that you want? Because you can't go to Japan yet. You can't travel there frequently. So is there a specific type of woman, racial or non-racial, that you're going for and you're getting the most play in Austin, Texas, which is where I believe you're living at the moment? So who are you dating the most now?
So I'm in Austin, Texas, and when I want to date, I get my passport and I go to the airport.
Wow, this brother is done.
I'm
No
serious.
no
I'm
more
not
American
joking.
women.
If I want to go on a date, usually I just get my passport. I'm like, okay, I'll go to Japan now, or I'll go to another country, because we'll talk about that in the next stream, or I'll go to Thailand or Brazil or something like that. That's it. But the way that I handle American women, it's kind of like how you would handle nuclear waste. It's here. You kind of walk around it.
Hey, this brother's a legend. Hey, this brother is done completely. I respect that, Theo. Saichi, any more questions? Are you okay at the moment?
Yes, one last thing.
Okay.
Now, I guess what to do in regards to your experience in Japan. I can't help but wonder this. When you were out there, you said 12 years, correct?
12 and a half years, 150 months, actually.
Did you see, like, how do I put this? I assume you saw like other Black people to a reasonable extent, like every now and then, or was it like, did you ever feel like isolated?
No, I definitely saw the Black men from day one, and I saw Africans, and that was there when I was there. This is when I actually started having to deal with like what could be considered like Black UK, but they didn't call themselves Black UK. I mean, international passport. You can probably comment more on this. I knew they were British, but they were Black, but they were British more. And that's how I dealt with them. But there were plenty of them. Black Canadians, Black Australians. I mean, they were definitely there too. So just the way we thought of them is that you're Black in the international community. That was just the easiest way to deal with it. And they were definitely there. And all of them. If you were there for 2 years, all of them had girlfriends. 100%, at least one. I mean, even the Africans did. Like, who couldn't speak? Some of them had like no university degrees, no high school degree. They came over as laborers. They have special passports for this, so a special visa. They all had girlfriends too. I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy to date.
All right, thanks for that, Saichi. Stay on the line, bro. I'll come back to you later on, bro. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Let me speak to you more about UK brothers there in Japan. So, based on what you saw, Theo, what do Japanese women think of UK brothers? Because I'm sure they're more exposed to Black American men, but a Black man from the UK, they're thinking, wow, there are Black people that live in the UK. How did they treat them? Okay.
They know the Black people from the UK. Yeah.
Okay.
And you have that accent, which I don't have. So they think you're really sexy, and they're really gunning for you.
This is wonderful.
So I'm serious. Like somebody like you with your accent, if you just had like kind of like a basic tie, a white shirt, and just like black pants with some black shoes, doesn't have to be too fancy. Just did your hair kind of nice, and you just went around smiling, but you just spoke with a clear British accent and make sure they understood that you are British. Oh my goodness, man! Like, nah, I just sit back and let you go first, and then I take the leftovers, man.
Damn, this is wonderful. Okay, so wow. So you're saying, so let's say out of all the Black group of men, UK brothers do the best there, even more better than Black American men.
Oh yeah, much more aggressive. And if she's into football at all, like real football, and
soccer.
She knows what. No, I don't say that word. I say football. And I'm educated. I had a lot of English friends, so I know which words not to say out of my mouth. Okay, like Japanese women know fish and chips. They know what Guinness and Kilkenny is. So, like if they know Chelsea and Manchester, stuff like that. So they might have like a really high personality, like a high appreciation of you. And if you were just like, hey, let's have go to an English pub, have some shepherd's pie and a beer, on a pint, as you would say, and just sit there and watch football. You don't have to, it's like for you, it's done.
Damn.
She's already there. Like she's even waiting for you, man. Man, it's just so easy for you. It's just done. Boom, gone.
This is crazy, bro. Okay, so before I go on to someone else in the panel, I have a question for you. What type of hairstyles should black men wear in Japan? Is it an afro? Is it a buzz cut? Shape up? Or does it matter at all? Dreads? What do Japanese women like the most in terms of hairstyle from black men?
Don't wear dreads.
Okay.
Because you're probably gonna have problems in the office if you do that. If you're there only like he was saying, if you're there because of some sort of reggae thing or some sort of club like that, and you're there temporarily, wear your dreads all you want, you're gonna get late. But let's say that you should be closer to Carlton, like a clean cut. Obama, you just want a clean cut.
Clean cut. So what about like a mini afro, like just curly hair, mini afro? Would that be a problem?
No, that's fine.
Cool.
Even like we see Black Panther right there. Having hair like that is fine. It just not really too far out.
All right, awesome, bro. The guy he says that they chase white guys for the most part. Is that true, brother?
Because there's more white guys.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's just say this: if you're in a room and there's, I would say the top alpha ultimately is a French white guy. And if the French white guy is in a room with you and there's Japanese women, the French white guy will probably not understand what to do. Whereas you could just sit there and speak with a British accent and look girls in the eye. And you're going to get girls wanting to get you a lot more. You just have to have a little bit of game. Sure, they'll talk to the white guy. Yeah, but yeah, it's with the brothers, it was like fire, man. It was much better.
Damn, thanks for that, bro. Let me bring in Bane. What's up, Bane? You okay?
What's going on? Hey Theo, face to face for the first time, but I did speak to you over the phone a few weeks back.
Yeah.
I want to get a little bit more information about like how that process from being an American,
Hold up, Ben. Can you please introduce yourself to the panel and how you find my channel in the first place?
Sure. So I'm known on these YouTube streets as Devil's Bane, and I found your channel through the algorithm actually one day. I think you were doing a Kevin Samuel stream, and it was just recommended on the front page, so kind of found it from there.
That's how I found you too.
All right, thanks for that, bro. So ask any questions you want to Theo regarding Japanese women or what's on your mind, bro.
Sure.
Go on.
So I was curious what that process from being an American worker to transferring over into the Japanese workforce looks like, and kind of what you need to do to prepare. I know you said 300 kanji minimum, but for proficiency in a business class, about 2,000, you say?
Yeah, that's actually correct. So basically, my transition, I didn't transition. My first job was in Japan. So I went from grad school directly to Japan. It was right on the airplane. So I know, we talked already. I know you're working in IT. Your transition would just be getting an international job in Japan, which would actually be very easy for you to do. So Amazon, for example, is definitely looking for more engineers. They're very active. And so they would take you rather quickly, especially if you could do 300 kanji. Now, if you could get to 2,000 and show real proficiency, this is when you'd actually have companies fighting over you.
Mm.
And
And what would you need to actually like prove that you have that proficiency? Like, are there certifications in like Japanese language?
yeah, but I'll show you how it was with me. When I was at Citibank, I'll give you an example. So this is, if you look on here, this is a CISSP, but it's in Japanese.
Oh
Okay?
wow.
So what they would do is they would just take a book out. For me, when I was in Citibank for my interview, they actually took out the Japanese Constitution, and they actually said, "Read it." So I read it, and then they said, "What does this mean?" And I had to explain to them what the rights, what the laws, what they were asking for in Japanese. Now, I was going to say that's an extremely conservative environment, and that was for $200,000 a year. They can do that. If you're talking about normal IT cloud, they're just going to say, "Do you know Amazon? Do you know Azure really well?" And okay, so you know some Japanese. Okay, fine. Then they'll take you over there, and then they'll give you Japanese lessons. If you want to go up in management and actually get more proficient, get to $150,000, you need to get those 2,000 kanji and actually be able to read stuff like this. Once you can do that, then the headhunters go crazy over you, and that's when you get this huge career. You go to $250,000.
So just to clarify, say I am to pass this solutions architect exam tomorrow morning, and from that point, I'm certified and everything. So I could literally go and apply to a Japanese company, and they would support my Japanese learning from that point on. You're saying?
If as long as you had, like, you need to get that 300 kanji, but they may take you anyway. So my recommendation is like, okay, you have LinkedIn, right? You need to make a profile LinkedIn Japan, which is linkedin.jp, or maybe .co.jp. I forgot what it was. I have a profile that I haven't used in years. So you make a profile there, and you put all your information on there, and then actually the recruiters from Japan will actually be looking at you. And then from there, it's pretty simple. They start emailing you, start texting you, you got to say like, "Hey, I want to go over there. I need sponsorship." Almost any company can sponsor anyone. So that's it.
Boy, that's y'all.
Yeah. All you have to do then is make sure you have a 4-year degree. That's a big one because you're an American citizen. Yep. You must have a 4-year degree. And then you have to have it verified. And you have to go to the website and actually form for that, how you get it verified. And as long as you have that, you can actually fly over there and start talking, and boom. There's actually a method of actually dealing with it first. So there's something called gaijin houses. They're guest houses. Like Oak House is an example of this. I was in Oak House for a number of years. And you don't have to have like all the financial requirements to get there. It's just a basic room, a 6 tatami mat or rokujo room, and you have a shared kitchen, a shared bathroom. But it's only like $600 a month, and you can leave at any time. So a lot of what foreigners usually do is just go into there, deal with it, and then they do the career, and then they get enough money to get an apartment, and then they go to the apartment, and then they start doing their thing.
That sounds like a good foundation to meet people too. So I'm not really opposed to that.
There are Japanese girls in those guest houses.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Theo. Do you have any last questions, Bane? Or is that all your questions?
Yeah. So one of the reasons why I cammed up, I don't normally cam up on YouTube, but I was kind of curious, like, how would they judge my hair?
Your hair's fine. Yeah,
okay, cool. I know you said like the clean cut hair. It's a little curly at the top here, so
So most of the time I'm bald, and like you see my profile photos that I use with like Gmail or YouTube. That's actually me in Japan, and I was bald, and they're fine with that. They don't have any problem with it all. You just don't make sure that it's like like out to here or something like that.
Bird's nest.
Yeah, bird's nest. They're like, what's up with that? It's just
fair enough.
Yours is fine. You could actually probably do it an inch longer. They wouldn't complain. Yeah,
I cut my own hair, so like that's one thing I'm proficient at doing that. So I could be anywhere in the world and have the same cut.
Yeah, that's what I did too. So I brought my clippers with me over on the airplane, and then I bought clippers when I was in Japan too, and I would just cut my hair like that. But the other thing too is that explaining bald, like saying bald in Japanese, is pretty easy. And for $10, they'll cut your hair. because they're like, your hair is easy, like all bald. Like here we go, we're done. It's like 5 minutes. So like $10, here you go. Like you're done. You know, that's how I get it there and done too as well.
All right, thanks for that, Bane. I'm gonna put you on mute, but thank you for calling in, bro. Stay on the line though, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, awesome, bro. Yeah, I want to speak to you more about that, the dread stuff, Theo. You're saying it can be a problem in the workplace, but what about getting Japanese women? Do they like dreads or they hate it?
Oh my goodness.
They hate it.
They love dreads.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I saw guys from like again reggae musicians coming over like for a month doing tours with dreads. They got hunted down. There's definite girls who are into black culture, and they would just like, man, total predators. I'm just saying, like, those guys had girlfriends. Yeah.
So, what about Japanese women who aren't into reggae culture? Do they still check for brothers who have dreads?
Yeah, they definitely do. Just you have to be a musician. Like you'd have to have some sort of reason for doing that.
Okay.
If you don't have it and you're just doing a dread, but you're actually working in the office, they'd be like, "How did you do that? How do you have hair that long and you're a man and you're in the office? Like, what's going on there?" And that would be actually kind of a hard explanation to give to them.
All right, thanks for that, Theo. Let me bring in Zach Hayes. What's up, Zach? You all right?
Hey, what's up? What's up, Ivy? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, bro. How are you finding the live stream so far?
Excellent, man. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. We're enjoying it.
Yeah, man. Honored to have you speaking tonight.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Theo, Zach?
Yeah. Well, you know, I watch a lot of mixed martial arts and boxing. I was wondering how big the boxing programs are in Japan.
Okay, it's pretty big, but of course they have the martial arts, judo, aikido, kendo, those other one martial arts. They're all over the place. If you're a black guy going in there, they think that is like the coolest thing ever. They're totally about it. They're like, wow, we get to fight with a black person today. The guys will be all over it. You will be like a rock star for that day. Man, I cannot recommend that enough. So if you're there, you can really learn a lot about the culture by doing that. They'll take you out afterwards, go drinking with you. They'll think you're a great guy. Yeah, highly recommend doing that.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Super Saitama Arena?
Where?
Super Saitama Arena is the arena in Japan.
Oh, Saitama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
How was that? How was that experience?
I'm pretty sure that I saw. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw LeBron play during the basketball, I think, World Championships in 2006, and they lost to Greece.
Wow, they went. Wait, USA went in 2006 in Japan?
Yeah. I forgot what tournament it was exactly, but it was
probably the FIBA World Cup, most likely.
Yeah, something like that.
Most likely the FIBA World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
In Saitama, in that arena.
Wow, man. Wow.
So just want to get on this. My wife was a travel agent, and she had met some of the top players and musicians in the world because she organized their trips to to Japan. So she had met Charles Barkley, Jordan, Charles Manson, Marilyn Manson, like Serena, both Serena sisters, sort of Wolf Williams sisters. I forgot all the tennis players. She knew all of them personally.
Wow.
Yeah.
So check this out. I'm gonna release a hidden secret I've been hiding all along. So, do you watch boxing?
Watch boxing?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Not really. Not that much.
Do you watch boxing, IP? Do you watch boxing, IP?
Yeah.
International.
Yeah.
Do you know you know Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I know they are. Yeah.
So, did you watch the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight?
Was that last year, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
he-
yeah,
Yeah. I saw
yeah,
the
yeah,
highlights.
yeah. So, you know how Deontay Wilder got the fight stop from Tyson Fury, correct?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
You know his trainer's my uncle, right?
What? Deontay Wilder's trainer is your uncle.
Yes.
Crazy. Wow.
Hold up.
Sorry, the dogs had actually opened up the back door, so I had to go close it.
No worries, bro. That's awesome, Zach. So does that relate to Japan or anything?
Well, we was just like talking about like boxing in Japan and stuff, you know. But like, I just wanted like to share that, like, because his brother brought up that he was at the Saitama Arena and he saw LeBron James in Japan, you know. So it was just interesting, just good conversation.
That's crazy, bro. So did you go to the match last year? Did you get tickets to it? Front row tickets for your uncle?
I went to the Luis Ortiz fight. See, this is me and him.
Ah, nice. Wow,
Yeah.
jeez.
And this is me and Deontay Wilder.
Yo, that's what's up, bro. Yo, lucky guy, bro. Jeez. Are you gonna go to the rematch between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder?
Well, because my uncle stopped the fight, he doesn't. Deontay Wilder isn't training with my uncle anymore. So
Ah, it's a shame.
yeah, man. I guess Deontay Wilder can't accept the loss. You know, unfortunate.
That's a shame, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for letting us know. That's very interesting, bro. Thank you for that, bro.
Thank you, man.
Do you have any more questions for Theo, or is that it at the moment?
This is it at the moment. I'm actually about to watch a boxing match, but I'm still gonna stay at the Panda though. So just
Okay.
put me back in whenever we get a chance.
Awesome, bro. Thank you, bro.
Sure.
All right, Theo. So when did you arrive back to America? Was that in 2019?
2010.
Damn. So it must have been healthy, right? Coming back to America to the awful woman, and you've been here for 10 years now. Just
So I came back to America, and at first I was going to date American women and try it. And I was different. I was successful. I thought if I had a different mind frame, I would have a different experience with American women. I came here and I was like, it can't be this bad. And like, no, it's bad. It's really bad. It's bad. Like, what's going on? Like, every time it's bad. This is an experience. This is a horrible experience. And it just worsened the entire time. And then I was like, and within 4 months, I was like, oh, this is done. I'm good. That's out. I'm never doing this again. I'll never date American women seriously. I'll never attempt it. That's over. And that's when I started, going online and looking at other countries. But the longer now I've been in America, I recognize that I was a total idiot to even consider dating American women, and I really should have brought over someone from abroad and brought her to the States.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same situation as you, but without the whole traveling to Japan. So because the whole borders have closed at the moment, there's a couple women, giving me play. They're from the UK, but I tell brothers that I'm tired of dating UK women. It's all about foreign women to me. But when you've not dated for a long time because the whole borders, the whole pandemic, you can't travel anywhere, you start thinking maybe I should give a woman in my community a chance again. But nah. You keep on your purpose, get your passport right, stay on your purpose and travel.
They're still vipers. Like it doesn't matter. Like okay, so the quarantine happened. They had a different emotional state during that time. They're still vipers. They never changed their main motivations or who they are. I look at them, I'm like, no. I'm done.
That's what's up, Theo. Let me bring in Sigma Jones. What's up, Sigma? You right?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? IP, thanks for having me. This is my first time being here.
Awesome, Sigma. How did you come across my channel?
Actually, I overheard Theo talking about your channel at another stream. And so I was like, oh, International Passport. Let me check him out. And I just kind of reviewed your contents and everything. It's like, yeah, he's point on.
That's what's up, Sigma. Theo, what stream was this that you mentioned me? Do you mind sending me a link?
I was on Little Big Nate. Are you talking about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I was on Little Big Nate, and then I copied this. Because you had sent me as prep that I was going to be on. You sent me the link. I put that into that chat, and I said I'm going to be there tonight talking about stuff.
What is that? What is Little Big Nate? What is that, bro?
Little Big Nate is a conservative black RP manosphere. It's just YouTube channel. It's just starting out. It's just it's talking about conservative values.
Okay, yeah, I agree with conservative values. So good on you for that, Theo. Sigma, do you have any questions for Theo?
Actually, mine is more of a statement, but I think Theo he'll definitely agree with what I'm about to talk about. And in fact, I'm actually have an interview with Theo on next month because we're going to be talking a lot about Japanese culture and everything. But in regards to Japanese women, I could honestly say right now my current girlfriend, she's Japanese. My first ever serious relationship was a Japanese girl. Hands down, not going back to America.
So are you currently living in Japan right now, Sigma?
Not right now, but I recently visited Japan roughly 2 years ago. I almost contemplated skipping my flight coming back because the treatment that I received over there was just phenomenal. For me, just being more involved in the Japanese culture literally just opened the door wide open for me. The things that is apples and oranges compared to America and Japan. For any brother out there that's very serious, not looking to play games, not looking for the headaches and everything, and you just want something serious but fun at the same time, Japanese women, for my experience, one of the best.
Wow. And sorry, where did you travel to in Japan, bro? What city?
So my first trip, I actually just been around Tokyo. I've been to Odaiba, Yokohama, Yokosuka, those type of areas, but mainly kind of been around Tokyo for the most part.
And out of all those areas, what areas did you get most love from amongst Japanese women, bro?
Honestly, a lot of my Japanese people that I've met started off from college. A good portion of them came from the Tokyo area, although a few of them I've met came from Hiroshima, the Kansai region. I have a couple of friends from the Hokkaido area. So pretty much all around. I'm planning on making another trip sometime in January coming up where I'm finally going to make a trip over to the Kansai region. So Osaka, Kyoto, Hyogo, those areas plan to visit.
That's what's up. Okay, question for you, Sigma. You said you have a Japanese girlfriend. Did you meet that Japanese girlfriend in Japan or did you meet her in America?
We met through college. So she actually was a study abroad student here in America. Pretty much, I just kind of stuck out like a fish out of water. And we just hit it off from there. And then I went to go visit her in Japan and haven't looked back since.
Wait, okay, so she came to America to study in an American university. What made her pick you out of all the other men in your environment, bro?
Just to kind of reiterate from what Theo was talking about, you definitely, as a black man, if you keep yourself clean and you are articulate and you are especially a man of culture, you literally stick out like a fish out of water.
Damn. This is why I'm... Carry on, bro. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, Theo, he kept waving his hand, so I know he wanted to, make a statement or something.
Yeah. So the first Japanese girl I dated was in America, and she was an exchange student. So she was, I was taking intensive first-year Japanese on one side of the hallway, and she was taking intensive English on the other side of the hallway. So we would have, we'd have breaks at the same time, and I was one of the few American men who was actually intermingling with the Japanese. So I had broken Japanese, she had broken English. We always kept on talking because I had that presence. And I looked her right in the eye, and I just kept on talking with her. She was gorgeous. Her name was Junko, and we just kept on talking, and that's what it was. It was just that easy, and we just kept on. I remember every day that she was in America, we had a date or we did something together. It was that easy. And then with Kansai, if you go to Osaka, there's this place called Minami.
Oh, yeah.
You heard about it?
Oh, yeah. Definitely is on my list to visit, too.
Okay. So Minami, just so you know, you have a Japanese girlfriend. I understand. You will be a piece of meat in Minami. They will be like piranhas going
Damn.
after you.
Okay, spell that. Write that in the chat, bro.
Okay.
Minami. This is crazy intel. This is some crazy intel, brothers.
Yeah, we can't escape Minami. I went there quite a few times. Wild experiences, like just wild makeout sessions, like big drunk making out with Japanese chicks. Because I knew that I wasn't. You're not going to smash because they have that rule, so that you're not going to think about it. But I had girls like just all over me, and I mean, man, I just fly chicks too.
Damn, this is crazy. Thank you for that, for your Minami. That's definitely going to be on my list. Where is that? Is that in Tokyo?
No, that's Osaka.
Yeah, that's
Osaka.
Yeah, that's Osaka. That's where you go in Osaka to meet the women. You can go other places too, but that's like just the easiest place. I mean,
It's guaranteed that if a brother went to Minami, he would get a dime Japanese chick fawning all over him. That's what you're saying, Theo, okay?
yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. As long as you're not a lech, you're keeping your hands in the right place. You can, her back is fine, or her booty, but that's about it. What I always did, you guys really want to know about this. What I always did was I'd play with their spines and then play with the back of their neck and just tickle a little bit while I kissed them, and they usually just stayed like on me like glue, and they would not move. And then they just gave me more than enough signs that they're like, I'm drunk. It's only because of my mother that I'm not allowing you to smash me. I'm just let's have 4 more dates and you can take it.
All right. Okay. So where in Minami can we meet these type of Japanese women? Is it clubs? Is it bars? Is it cold approaching them?
You just go from place to place. I mean, you could drink all out in the streets. I mean, it's like one big party zone. Yeah, you just go there. Just make sure you're a little presentable. That's all. You know, a nice jacket. You don't have to have a tie. A nice jacket, clean pants, clean shirt, some nice shoes. Don't have to go like you don't have to be like totally upstanding, but like okay, you're in the UK. Church's shoes.
Yeah.
That brand, something like that, like around 300 pounds. Oh yeah, that'd totally stand out. They'd notice it.
All right, thanks for that, Theo. Thank you for calling in, Sigma Jones. I'm gonna take you off the panel, but stay on the line. I'll come at you later on, okay, bro?
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Sigma, also get in touch with me on IG or Twitter because I want to speak to you more about your experiences in Japan, if that's okay with you, bro. Yeah?
Sure, not a problem. I'll definitely try to hit up.
All right, thank you, bro. All right, let me bring in Usama Abdu is next. Then after that will be the King DJ. After that will be Jack the Janitor, and then we'll reround it again. So let me, Usama. There's 2 of you. Why do you have 2? There's 2 of you in my panel. I don't know which one to pick. All right, let me hold up. It's a bit weird. Some kamikaze Naruto. Naruto kamikaze stuff, man. You do some kamikaze nonsense, bro. All right, I think I've got you now.
What's up? What's going on, man? Hey, how you doing, Theo? Good to see you, brother. I always see you on Little Big Nate's chat, man.
Okay.
A lot of good intel, man. A lot of good intel. An international passport. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, bro. Are you new to my channel, bro?
Nah, I've actually been acquainted with your channel for quite a while. Just the algorithm hit it, and one of the things I liked. I think what was the first video I heard from you? I think it was the one where you're talking about how brothers getting they're eating in Germany. That was your old term. They're eating how brothers are eating.
Brothers are eating heavy in Germany.
But I'm gonna tell you though something. I really like a lot of the UK brothers in the Black Manosphere because most of you are very rational and reasonable. I love it. I love most things about the Black Manosphere, but one of the issues I do have with it, it's just we tend to have a lot of beefs, a lot of petty dialogue and things of that nature. But I feel like with the UK brothers, there's a little bit more rationality there. So salute to you, Falcon Black, King Riches. I like a lot of UK brothers, what you're doing on YouTube. So salute to you, man.
All right, thanks for that, Usama. Normally, I don't allow any shouts on the channels, but I'll leave
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's all good, bro. It's all good, bro.
Okay,
Thank you for calling
cool,
in, bro.
cool.
All right, do you have any
Absolutely.
questions for Theo? bro?
Yeah. Hey, Theo, I actually had a question kind of going on a different route. So earlier you were talking about with the herbivore men, that's similar to the MGTOWs in America. And you said this was going on back since the mid 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes.
And, I was reading an article, what was somewhere, was it? It might have been an Economist. And they were saying that the rate of virgins in Japan, as far as the men, and with the lack of immigration they have, that if things don't change in Japan, their economy, they're going to lose about 50% of their population. I mean, have you seen that firsthand with the issues with the intersexual dynamics there? And what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's entirely correct. And they're actually, I mean, it sounds kind of strange, but they're actually kind of happy that foreigners are going there and fertilizing their women. They're breeding with them. They're inseminating them.
Okay.
So, but a lot of the time, just so you know, so if you're working in Japan, there really is, as a foreigner, there is a ceiling in terms of how much money you can make. And if you want to make more than that, it's about $250,000 where I was at. So if you want to make more than that, you need to go back to your country and take your wife with you. Just make sure you have at least one child before you go. It's definitely, she's not going to leave you at all. It's because there's just not advantageous for her. But yeah, what the women look at, they look at the foreign men as being meat eaters. So herbivore man is a plant eater, and there's omnivore, or we call them meat eaters. And they always say all the foreigners, particularly white and black men, Americans, and also UK. Again, they're also known for that in the UK. They eat meat, which means they smash and they get it done, and that's what they're looking for.
Okay. Now, would that be a good answer? With that being said, Theo, I think we're both about the same age. I'm in my 40s, and I can tell you I've seen a precipitous drop in just dating in America. Point blank. I mean, this goes with white men, this goes with black men, this goes just across the board. I live in the Washington, D.C. area. I don't know if you're familiar with this area.
Yeah, no,
I mean, the dating scene out here, it's, oh man, the women out here, the women out here are, I would say, more. I've been to 42 states in America, and the women in the D.C. area are more particular, I think, than on a pound for pound basis more than anywhere in the country. And just from what you've said and what I've noticed, because we do have a pretty big international community out here, with American women being the most, I guess, a particular, probably, would we say from your experiences, American women are the pickiest and the most particular on the globe? Globally,
they're delusional.
Okay.
I also say UK women are the same way, but they're not as bad.
Okay.
But it's still an issue. They're entitled and delusional. So they're a 6, and they think they should get a 10. And
Got you.
I'm like, you are a 6. You should be happy to get a guy with a good salary who's a 6'2" or a 5. And they don't think this way. And they also, as Kevin Samuel states, sorry, I had to do a shout out, sorry. They don't respect black men fundamentally. So you have.
And when you say that, you're talking about black women, or you're just talking about women in general?
So with black women, they don't respect black men. And then with white women, there's this kind of weird stuff. And it's related to slavery. So it's just kind of this, whereas Japanese women are like, 7 o'clock, you date me, okay. Okay. Well, let's go. Oh, you take me to a good restaurant. Oh, okay. And that's it. Like, they respect you. And the other thing, too, is that you see with American women, they're using, particularly black women, they're using the child in order to punish you, to make you suffer. Whereas a Japanese woman, if she has like a half black kid, she thinks she's blessed. Like she's increased in status, and she's really happy about this, and she gets to go in public with her half black kid. Like, she's happy about this. So, I mean, it's just night and day. I mean, just You know,
I mean, I see it in your face when you talk about the differences in dating between America and Japan, and I've even heard you on LBN's channel talking about some of the other countries. We're not going to talk about that today, but it's almost what you're saying. It's like I believe you, but I mean, being that it's just drastic differential between what's going on in America as far as the dating versus Japan, it's almost like, wow, to a certain degree, it's almost hard to even believe that it can be that drastically different.
So my friends in Japan, of course, we still talk on at least a weekly basis.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they are telling me that I'm absolutely nuts still being here. And they've given me job offers. It's always for around $250,000. And I say no, because I'm not going to work for that. I can make more here. So they understand that. And then also I have my house. I bought it here in Austin. But they keep on telling me, which is what we say. They say, look at this picture of this Japanese woman. Look at this one. You could date this one. Okay, Theo, you're 48 years old. This girl is 25. She would date you tomorrow. Remember that? Remember she'd date you? Remember this, Theo? And they keep on prodding me with this. And they know what they're doing. They're trying to prod me right back over there.
And that's another thing, because I'm 43, so we're pretty similar in age. But that's also another thing. I mean, I don't know if you deal with the dating apps or things of that nature in America, but a lot of these women in America, once they get to 40, they don't even want to go more than 5 years older unless you're just top tier multi-millionaire or something. A lot of them want to start getting to the younger men, and that's another issue with American women because they're I mean, just on top of a lot of other things, but they're not realistic about the age differential. And the older they get, they're getting even more and more disillusional.
Hey, Osama, I can feel the pain in your heart, bro. I can feel it, bro. I can see in your eyes. Like, bro,
hey, brother, international passport. I'm telling you, man.
Get your passport, bro. Bro, get your passport, bro, because you know, we don't want to speak too much about American women in this live stream. We want to keep it positive. You know, we know what's happening in the West. You know, brothers need to get their passport. You know, I feel your pain, bro. I can see in your eyes. I can see in your eyes, bro. You've been through a lot.
Let me explain this to you. Like, so when I was in Tokyo, I lived in a place called Kichijoji. I lived there for 9 years, but all 12 and a half years, I went through Kichijoji at least once a day. And when I go back, that's where I'll stay in a hotel for 2 months in Kichijoji. If you and me went there, I would show you what's up in Kichijoji. You'd freak out, and then I'd be like, no, I'm going to take you into Ebisu and Shibuya, and you look above. You look like above 175 centimeters or 5'9" or something like that. How tall are you?
You're on mute. 6'1", yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 185.
I want to say 185.
185.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Girls would go after you like you've never seen before.
Damn.
Like they would make it painfully obvious that they are available.
Damn.
And I'm talking like really attractive women, like straight out gorgeous dimes. And they would just sit there and say like, yeah, I'm available anytime you want. Like, no, I'm really available. Like, here's my phone number. I'm available.
Wow.
You'd just be like your first and second night. I'd be your co-pilot and tell you where to go.
Okay.
Because that's where I went. After I lost my wife, my good friends were trying to get me to go out with Japanese women, and so they were bringing me out to different places, and I had access to women. They were opening my eyes. They're like, no, it's even better. You could date these kind of women. They're like totally great. So I'm just telling you, it would be a totally different world for you. You would enjoy it. I'm once I can go back, like I can enter the country again because of COVID. I think in January, I'm considering going there for 2 months, and let's see how it is.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Osama.
Hey, man.
Hold on, bro.
Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, thanks for the intel thing.
All right, thanks, bro. I'll come at you later on, bro. Okay. Let me go on to there's a lot of pain in Osama's eyes. There's a lot of pain. Bro, get your passport, bro. I know you're going for a lot with American women, bro, but get your passport. You be good, bro, okay? I know you've been for a lot. But let me tell you this right now, bro. there's more to black women than Keisha from the block. Now let me bring him back to the stream. Usama, there's more to black women than Keisha from the block, right? There's more to American women than what you see in your community, right? So what I'm telling you is get your passport to meet other groups of women. If you're into black women specifically, great. Go to Africa, go to Germany, go to even Japan. Have got black women there, half black, half Japanese. I've seen them. They are dimes. Okay, bro. Remove the pain off your eyes. Everything will be fine in the future. Okay, bro. All right. See you, bro. Take it. Hey, man, the brother's going for a lot, man. I'm telling him. I want to assure him that everything will be fine in the future. All right. Let me bring in the King DJ. What's up, the King DJ? You good, bro?
Yo, how's it going?
Hey, it's another classic live stream over here, bro. I hope you guys are getting this intel. But how you doing, bro? You okay?
I'm good. I'm good. To add on to, what's that?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm in Sasebo, Japan.
Oh, cool, man. Okay,
Yeah.
I know where you're at. All right.
Yeah, I'm in the military, so we're over here. But when it comes to the dating scene, I don't really date near bases. You know how it is. So,
notice I didn't recommend that. There was a reason why I didn't recommend that. I was totally quiet about that because I was like, because that's where the real predators are.
Oh yeah, and like
real ones.
When it comes to like Okinawa and especially Sasebo, like they predatize over like light-skinned people mostly. But when it comes to brothers, like if they date you, they're really big into that hip hop and black culture. So it's not really what you're looking for if you're trying to date, for real.
Right. Exactly. That's what I agree with. So I mean, that's what I was like. Okay, like why would you go to Okinawa? Somebody asked, "What about Okinawa versus Osaka?" And I said, "Just go to Osaka."
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
even Fukuoka, I would say.
Fukuoka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like up north to me. Like when it comes to the largest cities near me, you got Nagasaki and Fukuoka.
So
and
I didn't talk about Fukuoka because you really need Japanese there. You really fundamentally need it. But if you're like me and fluent in Japanese, or like you can do, like say 1,200 kanji, at least 1,200 kanji.
Mm-hmm.
Fukuoka girls are amazing.
Oh yeah, they keep saying that like the hottest Japanese women are in Fukuoka, and like I got here during COVID to Sasebo, so I can't really go there a lot because of military rules.
Yeah.
But I would love to see what they're talking about because I've been there like twice, but it was not long term. So
okay, I'll comment about Fukuoka women. The only reason I'm doing this because we got a guy in Japan. He knows what's up. He's there. Some of the most sincere, best family values, best hair, best skin complexion, and best hips that I saw in Japan.
Damn. Are they checking for brothers, Theo? Fukuoka women? As
long as you speak in Japanese, they are more than willing to date a brother. They'll think it's really. So they're the ones who are more of a silent stare. They'll just look at you and they'll hear you speaking Japanese. They're like, they don't believe it that this kind of guy is available and he's in front of her. And so she'll be silent and listen just to confirm that this isn't like anime or something like that. And then once she gets an idea of who you are, yeah.
And they appreciate it more too, even if you don't know a lot. So
I had a crazy date with a girl in Tokyo from Fukuoka. I remember that. I remember the park. Oh my goodness. I almost got in so much trouble there. She was hot. She was hot.
And to add on to the last caller, don't forget there's also Brazilian mixed women out here too. So Brazilian mixed Japanese.
So that was another point. So I was going to talk about that in other groups, but this is fine. We can talk about it here. So there's quite a number of half Brazilian, half Japanese that are in Sao Paulo, but they're also in Tokyo, and they're also in other areas in Tokyo, and so in Japan. And when I saw these women, like they're like,
If you're looking for curves,
They're walking sex. They're walking perfection. You're like,
Damn.
ah.
Okay, but are they checking for brothers though? Because we can speak all about these women, but are they checking for brothers? That's the main priority. Do they love brothers?
So,
Do they want brothers?
just so you know, because I'm developing game for this right now. So if you can see behind me, there's a yellow book on the bookshelf, and that's Portuguese. And so my trainer is Brazilian. Like, she's a naturalized American, but she's actually Brazilian, and we talk about this from time to time because she wants me to get married as well. And her recommendation is no Japanese and Portuguese together. And if you do, these women will date brothers in seconds.
Yeah, I agree.
No problem.
But why do we need to know Portuguese in Japan?
No, because they're half Brazilian.
Okay, so they need
Because most of the ones that I've met that's Brazilian mix, their first language is Spanish or Portuguese. So like, especially the main one that I liked, that she had everything filled out in the right spots. I mean, her chest wasn't as big, but everything else was great. So
the hips.
The hip, definitely the hips. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they're looking.
They're looking like fire.
Yeah.
You can date them, like, again, I'm 48. I can definitely date in their 20s with them as long as I'm doing my game right. They are hot. And when I was in Japan, I dated one half Japanese, half Brazilian. She was just straight up gorgeous, man. I wasn't on her level at that time. I didn't have game. She was just amazing.
So are they mostly in Tokyo? You mostly find them in Tokyo?
I don't know. I know
they're starting to spread. They're starting to spread.
I don't know if they're mainly. I know they're in Kansai, but they're also on the other side of Japan, and so they do manufacturing.
They're spreading to. It's sadly to say, but they start spreading to Okinawa as well, because like they're trying to build more businesses out there. That's how I started to get to know them, because there was the female that I knew lived in mainland, but she moved to Okinawa to work over there. And then like some of her friends started working over there because of the beaches and everything. And then they know they can make profit off of Americans. And we got like 15 bases out there, so in just Okinawa alone. So but like when it comes to mainland, I would say like you were saying, like bigger cities, because like the smaller cities like Sasebo, man, there's not much out here, sadly, and with COVID going on, is pretty difficult.
So that was my first point when I talked about Misawa and Aomori, and I said that's up to the north of Japan, and I said the girls will date brothers, yes, but it's so boring up there. Why would you do it? Because that's all you would have is her. It really is boring. So in the smaller towns, I mean, you can date a fly chick, but it's just boring. So you need to get to a real city, or you need to take her out to her country. Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up, man, because I was totally quiet about this subgroup. They're super hot. This Latina, it's basically Latina and Japanese mix. It's just like mixed.
Like most of the mixed Japanese women have the curves and everything that the chat's been asking about. So.
Damn. Okay. What about other groups of women in Japan? I heard there's Russian women there as well. What about other groups of women there, Theo, that are checking for brothers? Can you list them for us, Theo?
For brothers, Thai.
Yeah. Thai. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Filipinas are very open to dating brothers. Thai will most actively date a brother. Those are the ones that'll do it. I mean, there's some other. Why would you date Russian while you're there? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't recommend it.
Okay, but are they checking for brothers though? The Russians in Japan? Okay.
Not really.
I would say to piggyback off of that, I got lucky with one Russian out here in Tokyo. But I feel like when it comes to brothers and Russians coming here, we're like a delicacy. You know, it's very rare for them to see us. So they'll talk to us, they'll, you know, have fun with us. But when it comes to long-term relationship, I doubt it. And the Russian chick that I was with, she was like honestly the only 10 that I've ever been with when it comes to women. Like her status level when it comes to like maturity, money making, looks, like she was like the only 10. But the only downside was the it's weird to say this, but she had a 2 year difference with me. Like she was 2 years older, but she always tried to use that against me when I would like do something, you know, not like cheating, but like, you know, off-putting to her. She'll just be like, "Oh, it's probably because you're just younger and all the other stuff." And then I'll just look at her and be like, "Well, we're in the same generation. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
you know, these are like easy fixes." But she would complain over and over again, kind of like an American woman over crazy stuff. And I was just
Yeah.
like, you know what, I can't deal with this.
This is
So,
again, I knew Russians because I speak in Russian, right? So I knew Russians in Japan. Again, I'm not going to say everything. I don't recommend it. It just wasn't as easy. Whereas, I mean, the Thai girls I dated, it was like electricity.
yeah, Thailand. Oh man, I like I said, that's one of the places where I see myself living for the rest of my life because Thailand, they're very supportive over Black Americans, Black anything, because we're just, I don't know what it is about us, but they just love us over there. And you know, people are afraid because of the whole, you know, lady boy situation. And honestly, I feel like they have more of that problem in the Philippines, from my experience. But I honestly felt like Thailand was just, oh man, it was like the motherland, like the newfound Wakanda. We could just build stuff over there. You know what I mean? It's cheap to live there. We just start building our own Wakanda over there, and we're straight, dude.
The Thai women were like straight. I don't know the kind of drug to describe them. They just had that smell, that scent, and I even in Tokyo when I dated them, I knew them from a far distance. I had some of my most crazy dates with Thai.
Yeah,
absolutely lovely women. In fact, to tell you the truth, I was just looking through one of my hard drives, and I actually from 2009 I was in Tokyo, and I found all these photos of Thai women. And some of them I had dated, and I was sitting back like, why did I think about dating American women where Thai were right there? I could have taken a Thai over to the States. I was like nuts. So I was a little off there. I lost my wife, but they are amazing. So again, they're another option in Tokyo where you are. I mean, I wish you good luck, man.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah, Fukuoka. If you can date them, dude, all the best luck because they make beautiful children.
So I had the two questions.
Right.
When it comes to dating Japanese women, outside of like clubs and bars, how would you necessarily approach a woman? Like, say, like you're at a cafe because they love cafes, and or just on the streets. Like, how would you approach them?
The easiest one, International Passport asked this before. The easiest way is doing the dumb foreigner approach, which is go to them and say, "Oh, I don't know where I am. Can you tell me more? I don't know about this. Can you tell me more about where do I go? Can you help me Can you help me with this? I don't know." And you just act like kind of like a hurt kitten who needs support, and they're all over that. They're like, "Oh, I must. It's my national duty to help this poor foreigner. Okay, I'll help you. Oh, let's talk." And then she just talks to you, and then you're like, "Oh, you helped me out so much. I want to take you out to a cafe for coffee just to thank you for what you've done." And she'll probably say yes. That done deal. That and also in the bars, it's pretty much the same way. Pretty much, my recommendations for you, again, military. You're known. Just make sure you have a nice polo, nice khakis, nice pair of shoes.
Oh yeah,
fresh, and just walk the streets of Tokyo and just talk. You see a girl and just talk to her, and look her in the eyes and talk to her and just be a man, and she'll go nuts.
And
awesome.
And one more
Yeah,
question.
go on, bro.
So this to help out everybody that wants to move to Japan or attempting to. When it comes to like student visa and work visa, how difficult would you say it is to get that for Japan?
Okay, so work visa is actually easy, but you need to. That's what I came over on. You need to have a 4-year degree. That's the big thing. So I know you have University of Maryland. I don't know if you have access to something like that. A lot of my Marine brothers, like they had access to that. As long as you can get the 4-year degree, all you need to do is make sure that it's properly approved. You bring a transit, and you can actually just go to Tokyo, get a job, and then apply for the work visa in Shinagawa, and you're done. It's a very easy process. This is the new way of doing it. When I was doing it, oh yeah, that's right. Yes, okay. The way that it was before is that you had to only get the working visa outside the country. So if you got a job in Japan, you have to fly to Korea, get the visa there at the Japanese embassy in Korea, and then fly back to Japan. It was a total mess. It's expensive. Now you can get the job and just go straight get the visa in. And all you do is get a stamp. You can start working the next day.
All right. Thanks for that, Theo. Thanks for calling in the King DJ. You've been very good questions, bro. But stay on the line, bro. I'll come back to you later on for last questions. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for that, bro. Guys, before I bring in J Bones, if you're new to this stream, can you please hit the like button? If you're a new viewer and you've just recently found this stream right now, definitely hit subscribe. And when you hit subscribe, hit the all notifications button so you won't miss a single upload, live stream, or post from me. In the meantime, let me just tell you guys the means of avenues to get in touch with me. If you want to be in a live stream panel with me, if you have any questions regarding traveling, stocks, or crypto, hit me up on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, send me a DM. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'm encouraging you, brothers, to get in touch with me regarding these important questions. This is a movement we are building, and it's very important that you brothers start thinking of questions to ask me to, impact your life in a positive way. Here is also my Facebook page. It's private as well, so send a request there. I will accept you if you post good content on these live streams. So that's my Facebook group. Last but not least is my Instagram page. I would strongly advise you to follow me on Instagram, get in touch with me, send me a DM regarding any questions that are on your mind, and I will get back to you. So those 3 social media pages are the best places to get in touch with me. So use it to your advantage. Okay, let me bring in J Bones. He's been patient. What is up, J Bones? You okay, bro? You're on mute. Unmute yourself, bro. I'll do it for you. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, J Bones? What the flip?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, bro. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Brother Theo, how you doing, man?
J Bones, are you new to this channel?
I'm doing well.
Are you a new subscriber, a new viewer to this channel, Jay?
No, brother. IP, it's me. I was on the live yesterday.
So how did you find my channel, bro?
I was on the live yesterday. Remember, I was on your live yesterday.
Sorry, man, I can't remember. Can you please tell us how you found my channel in the first place? Was it recent? Or have you been a follower for a couple of years now?
Nah, I found your channel through one of my friends, actually. If you remember, we were talking on a live. I told you I just got back from Turkey a couple of days ago.
It was you. Sorry, bro. You look very different because you were in the dark. That's why.
Yeah, sure. I'm in the light now, right now. So we good.
Awesome, bro. Do you have any questions for Theo?
Yeah, brother Theo. I got a question for you. It's actually 2 questions. I gotta ask you something real strange, but mind me for a quick second. We gotta do an American situation. Have you ever seen a movie? Have you seen are you like a fan of the Rocky movies?
I've seen them, yes.
Yeah. Remember when Sylvester Stallone fought the Russian, Dolph Lundgren?
Yep.
Yeah. A couple of when I was in college, right? Just to kind of like make extra money, I used to work at JFK Airport, and if people know Dolph Lundgren, he played the Russian, but he's not really Russian. He's from Sweden, actually.
Right.
Yeah, he came to the airport with his wife, and they missed a flight going to Stockholm, Sweden. So we got a chance to hang out with him in a first class lounge.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was in. Yeah, it was pretty cool. He was telling me something very interesting because he speaks Japanese, and he's actually the reason why I took Japanese in high school. So I took Japanese 1 and Japanese 2 when I was going to high school in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah, and he told me something very interesting, something really weird. I just had to ask you because you live there. He told me that besides the fact that they are checking for black brothers heavy in Japan, he said that there's actually something low key that a lot of black men we don't know, but there's something weird in Japan where they hire black men. It's called rent a cuddle, and black men cuddle with Japanese women and they get paid for it. Is this true?
What the?
I take the fifth.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
yeah, it's true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He told me. Yeah, he told me that brothers are actually even the UK brothers. He said they're British brothers and American brothers. Like, there's something weird. Apparently, he told me that wait, hold on. Let me bring our brother IP into it. Brother IP, do you know Dolph Lundgren, the actor?
Dolph Long? No, I don't know who that is. No, bro. No.
He's pretty famous. He played the Russian in the Rocky movies, like the Sylvester
Oh,
Stallone movies.
yeah, the really tall guy. Yes, I know him. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was in a movie called Showdown in Little Tokyo. He actually did a movie with Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, the one that died.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
film. Yeah.
so I met him when I was in college. I used to work part-time at the airport, and he missed his flight. So we were kind of sitting down and chatting. Like, he was with his wife, so his wife kind of left to go to the bathroom for a quick second, and it was just like a bunch of us guys around. So we just started talking to him, and he told me, he said that, like, because he speaks Japanese. He speaks Japanese, and he has a black belt in Aikido or something like that. One of those
Hokkaido.
Japanese. Yeah, Aikido. Yeah, one of those Japanese form of martial arts. Yeah. So he told me, he said that basically, like in Japan, there's a thing. It's like they rent like black men in Japan. Like, you can get rented. A Japanese girl will rent you to come to her house, sleep in her bed, and just basically cuddle with her.
Yeah.
And
Hold up, bro. For everyone watching the live stream, I strongly advise you not to do that. That's nonsense, man. We don't want to be used
no,
for any sort of renting. We're human beings. Do it a natural way. Hopefully, you ain't that desperate to go through such nonsense. But please don't do it. Carry on.
I'm just asking because here's the reason. There's a bigger part to the story. Here's the reason for it. It's like a couple of years back, right? There was a situation that happened with some of these Nigerian brothers that they went to Japan and they couldn't find work there. So they got rented apparently to do the whole situation, and things went left. In America, when you say things went left, you know what I mean. Like, things apparently blew up in your face, and they kind of got arrested for it. But they said that the rules in Japan, like, as far as government rules, is very, very strict. Is that true?
Regarding renting?
No, not renting. That, like, Japan is overall seen as an incredibly safe country. So basically, when you come there, you can't do anything stupid.
Yeah. You can do something like, you can drink outside, you can puke outside, you can urinate outside, and they won't arrest you for that. But don't do anything violent at all against a Japanese person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a guy grab my family jewels one time, and I was going to kill him right then and there. But if I even touched him, I would lose my visa and be deported. So I just told him to get off me, and that's what he did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can. It'd be very hard for me to not hit someone who tries to hit me, firstly. So I don't know how you guys have that kind of self-restraint, but human beings are instinctual. So if you're going to get hit, you want to counteract and hit the person first before the person harms you.
What they give you, your first 2 years in Japan, they call that the time that they're basically domesticating you, and they're making it they're making you fit into their system, and
Okay.
you can do some stupid stuff during that time period. They kind of forgive you for it, but afterwards they don't. And this is one of the things you learn is that you are not to do any form of violence as a foreigner in Japan. You are guilty.
So you can't defend yourself at all.
Nah.
Even in a bar fight, you're telling me if someone breaks a bottle to make it sharp and they want to attack you with it, you're not going to defend yourself. You're just going to stand there like a flipping idiot and get stabbed. Come on.
Okay, so the kind of violence is very unlikely.
No, even though that's the case, right? But say if that did happen, right? You're in a club, right? Someone wants to start nonsense with you, breaks the bottle down to make it sharper, attacks you. Obviously, you're going to attack the person back, right, Theo? Unless you're going to stand there like a clown.
Yeah.
I would use Aikido and actually.
Yeah,
wait, hold up, Jay. Let me finish. Go on, Theo.
Okay, go ahead.
Because if I do anything aggressive towards that person, I'll lose visa. And I know that. So I would actually wait a bit for the group to deal with him, and somebody would be calling the police, as almost always is true, and they're going to be there within 1 minute and knock that guy out.
Okay.
They're going to say thank you for not being violent.
All right. New scenario for you, Theo. Say you're walking down the street, right? And hardly anyone is there around you. Someone's walking towards you with a sharp bottle. It's clearly running towards you to harm you, right? You dodge it, but they're still trying to hit you. Are you telling me you won't hit that person back out of fear of being deported? That's your life at stake there, Theo.
In Japan, that kind of situation never happens.
But say if it did, bro. Say if it did, bro. Say if it did. What would you do, Theo?
Nope. In fact, I'm gonna give you an example of this. So my Japanese wife, one time, she was sitting in the train, and I was sitting there too, and somebody came up to her and started being threatening. And I looked at her, and I just kind of sat back and did nothing. But I kept my eyes on him, but I didn't do anything. And the guy walked away, and then she told me that I did the exact correct thing, to not do anything, but just look. And that was it. The guy was drunk.
So, Theo, you tell me you will never defend yourself when your life is in danger. Literally, someone is trying to harm you. You're just going to stand there because you don't want to get deported, even though your life is at stake, Theo.
In Japan, that kind of situation doesn't happen.
But say if it did happen to you, Theo.
I would more likely believe that Gundam was in the sky and Godzilla was following him.
Bro, you keep running around the bush. Your life is in danger, bro.
Because this is something that they teach you really quickly, is that there's no violence, and if you use power, you are the one at fault, and everyone will blame you for it. But they teach this to everyone in the country, and they say, so don't use power because there's no purpose in it. And you learn this well. The people who learn it stay in Japan. The people who don't learn it, they're back at the airport, they're leaving. And if you can deal with that kind of situation, it's okay. If there really is another significant problem, they would say, is it another foreigner? Now, so if another foreigner is attacking you, go ahead, knock the crap out of them. But if it's a Japanese person, they're going to look at you as being the aggressor. The foreigner as being the aggressor.
Wow.
So you have to play your cards well.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely consider that, before I travel to Japan, because I'm huge on self-defense. Going to the gym. I encourage every brother to go to the gym to have presence, to protect themselves, from people who want to harm you, and to do martial arts. So if someone wants to attack me, I'm going to defend myself. It doesn't matter if I'm Japan or somewhere in Asia.
They would never attack you. It would
Bro,
be like...
people are not well. Some people are not well in the head. They see a brother with a very gorgeous Japanese woman, and they're thinking, why does he get her and not me? And I'm a Japanese man. And then what if he runs up on you? No, but I know you keep shaking your head, Phil, but it can happen. People are just not right in the head everywhere, all around the world. You got to be careful. Think about these scenarios.
I'll give you an example of this. So when I was 26, I was leaving Shibuya one time, which is a really popular area. And I was going back home, and I was drunk, and this was the last train, and there was this girl, Japanese girl, in front of me, and then there were Japanese guys all around her, and I knew that they were feeling her up, so I brought her next to me so that she wouldn't be felt up anymore. And the Japanese men looked at me and said, "Feel her up too."
What
And
the?
I said, "No, I'm not going to do it." And she just looked at me like, "Thank you. That's it." And we got to the station, and she went her way. That's the kind of level that you need to be at. And just, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to participate. I'm totally peaceful. And as long as you're like that, you're going to get all the benefits.
Yeah, I think after hearing that, brothers need to definitely consider, think about very hardly if you want to live in a country like that, because Japan is very different from the West, so think about very carefully, after what Theo just said, because what you're allowed to do in the West, you won't get away with in the East. But thank you very much for calling in, J Bones. I'll come back to you for one last question. Okay, I need to run through everyone else because it's pretty late over here in the UK. Okay, bro. But thank you for calling in, bro. Let me bring in Jack, the janitor. How you doing, Jack? You right? You right, Jack? We can't hear you, bro. Jack, what's up? All right, Jack. All right, stay on the line, bro. I'm gonna put you on mute. I'll come back to you in 10 minutes. Let me bring in Zach Hayes. What's up, Zach? And let me just add in. How you doing, Zach? You right?
I'm doing fine, man. Sorry about that. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you loud and clear. Do you have one last question for Theo?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to follow up with what my brother IP was saying. Just I don't know if I'll be able to live in that type of environment, just because I actually had about 2 years ago, I had a guy follow me for 5 blocks in broad daylight with a big foot wooden stick. And he said to me, I'm gonna be sensitive just for the respect of IP's channel. He looked at me and said, "You know who I am? I'm 28 years old. If that's my brother's stuff in the back, I'm going to beat your you know what." And then he followed me into a parking lot, into a gym entrance, and then he took his shirt off while he was walking up the stairs. Then he was trying to kill me with this freaking stick, and I was just the only thing I was concerned at that point is I have to protect myself. I've had plenty of wild stuff happen to me like that. Just dudes follow me with knives and sticks, and I don't know how I'll be able to be in Japan if somebody doing something like that to me, and I don't know what to do. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know.
So in Japan, that stuff doesn't happen. And if it does happen, which I never saw it happen in 12 and a half years, not even once. If it does happen, usually, if somebody sees you carrying a weapon, like a stick, telephone calls are going off. I mean, people are looking at you. They're making telephone calls. It's a very, the population density is very intense. So there's always a police officer somewhere around. And if you're looking threatening, if you're following, somebody's following you, and they have a weapon or any kind of threatening possibility, the police have come. They'll take care of it. They make sure that you are safe. I never had. I walked outside drunk by myself at 2:00 in the morning. Never an issue. I mean, you could have just beat me up and killed me right then and there. Nothing. And they were worried about me. I'm a pretty big guy. So there was just you need to be the one who's cool. Japanese people have no Japanese man ever threatened to beat me at all. And they were totally peaceful. No, man. Even I told the police one time they wanted to have my ID, and I had a permanent residency at that time. So legally, they couldn't ask me for a permanent. They couldn't ask me for my passport or my ID. So I told them. I just sat there and went off on them. I used every single explicit, every single bad word that I could say in the vocabulary. The police officer just walked away. That was it. If I would have tried that in America, I would have been shot dead. So it's a totally different world. It's peaceful. They do not have violence at all. The worst possibility I actually had coming to violence was when I was with my wife one time. I bumped into a Yakuza. I didn't know the guy was a Yakuza. I was a stupid foreigner. Actually, that's my 10th year in Japan, maybe my 9th year in Japan, but I bumped into him. And I just said to him real quick, I'm really sorry. I didn't know it was Yakuza, but I said to him, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry for bumping into you. And he just looked at me and said, oh, okay. And just kept on walking. And my wife said, that's Yakuza, right? Well, I didn't know. And that's why there was no reason to attack me, because it would just make a scene. Why do it?
No, absolutely. And I'm going to finish this up because I know IP has other people on the panel. I also believe like it has a lot to do with, like you just pointed out, you're a pretty big guy, like I'm 6'2", 6'3", but I'm walking 145, 150 pounds, so I don't really look that intimidating. It's just always been like that for me,
You're a foreigner, okay? And you're a foreigner. So they're going to think of you as being like Godzilla. However, just so you understand, Japanese girls think that Godzilla is cute. I'm just telling you this. You guys, people who are hearing me say this, think I'm nuts. No, this is what they actually think. The bigger you are, the more cute they think you are. So they actually want to talk with you, and you're kind of like celebrity status. Nobody's going to mess with you. Even if you're 180 pounds, 160, doesn't matter. They think you're cool.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, thanks for that, Zach. And those questions are very good, Zach. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, man.
All right. Before I bring in Jack the janitor, I have two questions for Theo that I feel like are very important for everyone watching this live stream.
Sure.
The first one is the African population there. And this is maybe three questions, because the first one is split into two questions. Do Japanese women, because in Germany, right, I've mentioned that German women will look at you very long because they're trying to distinguish if you are Black American or you're African, because they're not checking for African men, they're checking for Black American men instead. Is that the same case for Japanese women as well in Japan? Like, what is this? Are they inspecting brothers to see if they're African or Black American men?
They are inspecting, but the like we could say the difference, the value and difference isn't as big. However, they understand that if they're African, that they're probably a laborer, and the salary isn't going to be as high. So the girl already, like, she understands that from day one. Like, if she marries this guy or has a relationship with this guy, he's not going to be flooded with cash. Whereas the African American or the African English, I forgot how you label yourself. The Black guy from the UK.
Doesn't matter.
They don't have that. They expect you to be well-to-do. And so you're more of a celebrity status, but they're not specifically hunting either way, and especially that the country girls, they're kind of starstruck either way.
Okay, thanks for that, bro. Next question is, I know there's a problem with African people in Japan having these shady clubs and trying to entice foreigners to come into these clubs and try to extort them. Is that still a problem there in Japan? And because of that, is that why Japanese women distrust some Black dudes, because they got that whole shady thing going on where they trick foreigners to come into some bars and clubs. They overcharge you for it. If you can't pay, they call in the Yakuza or some nonsense like that. Is that true, brother?
You have a good source of information. I wasn't even talking about that. So that problem that you're talking about is mainly limited in Roppongi. And that's why I'm not really talking about Roppongi or like putting people towards Roppongi. I put them towards other high-class areas or anywhere in Tokyo outside of Roppongi. So the first time that I was actually going to black bars was in this system that you're talking about. And it kind of was a problem. I got out, no problems. But that's where I started meeting women who really just wanted a Black guy. I was 27. This was in 2000. I would say just don't go to Roppongi and date there, because that's one of the reasons why I said you have predators. The Japanese women are predators, but also these African men are also predators.
Flipping heck. So it is true. Okay. How bad is it amongst African men in terms of them doing what they do? And in your experience, what do they actually do specifically? Because I read a lot of things on the internet, but you lived in Japan, so can you tell us what they do
They
specifically?
give you, they're waiting for you outside the train station, or like when you're walking down the street, they know how you're going to walk. And they give you these flyers, and they get an extra drink or something like that. And we've got beautiful Japanese girls and things like that. So, you know, some people are stupid and they're like, oh, okay, you know, I'm drunk already, I'll just go there. And, oh, you're black, so this is going to be a good situation for me too. So they go into these bars, and that something gets strange. There's weird pricing. It's just some pressure going on there. It doesn't look right. It looks weird. It looks like you're kind of being, what can I say, coerced to being there. So it's just time to go out. So I remember that. I remember that where that location was in Roppongi. There's a specific area, and I just didn't go there anymore. I went more to the international, what would be like white international black clubs that were more to the to the west of Roppongi, and that's where I actually met Russian girls because they were the dancers, and I knew what was going on with them.
So
Yeah.
we should avoid Roppongi. Absolutely, don't go there at all. Go to any place in Tokyo apart from Roppongi. So Akihabara, all that stuff. Just avoid Roppongi in the nighttime. But daytime Roppongi is fine. But nighttime is when you can get tricked to come into some shady club or bars and all that stuff.
Yeah. You need to have some street knowledge. My rule of thumb is this: go to the big buildings, like the skyscrapers, because they can't play that game there. That's impossible. The police will come and knock them out. That's it. You're going to be fine. But if you go to the smaller buildings, a smaller building would be like 8 stories. That's where you can start having the problem. But if you have there's a skyscraper like 30, 40, 50 stories, no, my man's going to be totally high class.
Damn. Okay. So what does happen in these small stories? Do they give you all these drinks, right? And then when you finish drinking, they pay you like 2,000. They ask you it's £2,000 per bottle, and you can't pay it. And what happens afterwards? Do they get the accuser on you? What happens?
They can, and that's when you need to figure out a way to get out of there. You need to be creative.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's Yakuza. Yes, that's
Yeah.
organized crime. Yeah.
Flipping heck. Wow.
Yeah. So you just need to need to kind of know how to deal with it. I had like a situation like that once. I just got out of the door, kept on walking away. Just keep on going, because once you get to the street, the police are there. They can't do anything.
Does it only happen to foreigners? Does it happen to Japanese people as well?
They try to do it with Japanese people. It doesn't go well. I mean, they can try to do coercion. There's some degree they could do, but let's say they paid like £2,000 to get out of there. They just go to the street and go to the police. That'd be it. The police would come and start doing a raid.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. I've got one more question for you before I go on to Jack. What about Yakuza? Is that a problem for brothers in Japan? Do they target brothers or? Okay. No.
No, she's with him because she wanted to get smashed, and the police know this.
What? So what was that? I mean, like Yakuza, do they target brothers? Like,
Yakuza. I thought you were talking like me too. Okay. The Yakuza are allowed to operate in Japan. They usually are only violent towards other Yakuza. They rarely are violent towards the population, and in particular towards foreigners. They know not to do this. So if there is a problem with the Yakuza, it's almost unbelievable. For the most part, if you're there's some bars that are owned by Yakuza, and there's usually a sign there that says no foreigners allowed. That says Gaijin Kinchi. That's what it says in Japanese. And you just don't go in there. If you go in there, they say, oh, you didn't read the sign. No foreigners allowed. Bye. and that's usually something related to the Yakuza. You should not be in there.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for that, Theo. All right, so Jack the janitor, do you have any questions for Theo, bro?
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, bro.
Oh, so sorry about that. Just a bit of technical stuff. I got a couple questions for Theo. Do you mind if I just quickly add one thing to the topic of self-defense?
Sure.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
So I mostly live in South Korea. I'm currently in America, but I'm gonna go back. For Korea, I can't stress how important it is to not get physical or do drugs in Korea. Once you're in front of a judge, that's it. You're gone. It doesn't matter who started it. Even if it's between two Koreans, the judges are pretty harsh. So if you're insistent on self-defense and you have to resolve the altercation with your fists, you're probably best to not come to East Asia. That's specifically the tigers. So Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau. Just don't bother. You will be losing your visa. So I just wanted to add that there.
What about for like holiday, Jack? Just for like a 2-week holiday?
Oh yeah, do whatever you want. Like you're just there for two weeks, so you don't really care, right? So.
Right, awesome. Thanks, Jack.
A couple questions for you, Theo. Do you know anyone that's actually gone to Japan recently and gone through the whole quarantine thing?
You can't go in, so they just allowed foreigners with permanent residency to leave Japan and come back, as long as they go through all the COVID-19 checks. But you have to be in Japan and then go and come back. So I have permanent residency. I cannot go there because my starting place is America. Won't work.
Ah, poop. No, I was looking to while I was over there in Korea, go to Japan. So yeah, I guess that's a no-no.
No, that's a no-no. I don't. I mean, maybe in the last week or so they relaxed it. I don't know. I didn't look at it. But basically no. And the vaccine rollout is very slow in Japan, and so they really don't want to have contact with foreigners because they might bring COVID in, which is kind of stupid because they still want to have the Olympics. So there's a big fight going on right now whether or not they should host the Olympics this summer.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty interesting. No, in Korea I can go, but I have to do a 14-day quarantine at a facility, and my buddies show me pictures of what it looks like, and it feels like what do you call it? An internment camp. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But if I want to go there, I have to do that. So that's the thing. So that's pretty cool. In your experience in Japan, how important was age between you and a woman that you were dating, or between you and your colleagues and making friends and stuff like that?
None. Well, I mean, in terms of dating, it's not really that big a deal. If you're older and you want to date younger, go for it. In terms of your colleagues, you just have to know that the oldest person usually pays for the dinner. Because the assumption is that the oldest person is making the most money. So just make sure you're not the oldest person.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the exact same in Korea. Yeah. I figured as much.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm usually the oldest, so yeah, I end up having to foot the bill for everything. It's pretty. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I didn't mind it, but I tended not to be the oldest person, so it's okay. You just make sure you have a few extra $100 in your pocket just in case it comes to you. In terms of dating, I didn't really understand how young I could have gone when I was in Japan when I was there, because I was very blue pilled. I didn't go red pill until I came back to America. When I left, I was 36. If I had any clue and I was red pill, I would have dated 18 and gotten away with it. But I was blue pill.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Thanks for that. Do you mind talking about your marriage at all? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to know about it?
So did you go through did you meet her family and have to go through the whole family registry thing? Like,
Yeah,
and
so
how
we did
important, and was that entwined with the legal system in Japan?
yeah. So, what happens is that I had to ask her father for permission to marry her, which I did. I did that in Japanese, and he said yes. But he gave me his speech and his spiel. And then when we got married, she was moved over from her registry to mine, and her name had to change to my name. There was no hyphenation. By law, she had to take my name, and that was it. So then it was, in her family registry in Aomori, it noted that she was married to me.
Awesome. Is that it, Jack?
Yeah, that's all. Thank you. I was just curious about the whole family stuff. Thanks for that.
All right, awesome. Thanks for that, Jack. Let me bring in Thomas Demahin. How you doing, Thomas? Do you have any questions for Theo?
Yeah, man. Hi, Theo.
Hey there.
Yeah, this live stream has been really fascinating. Japan is literally the one country that I need to go to because, my opinion, Japan is very exciting, very modern, and hell, it's the most technology advanced country on earth, and it's the land of geek culture. I'm a real big fan of anime and manga and just the whole Japanese culture. But anyway, so my question is, I know Western culture has been exploited across the world, so I was wondering if Japanese women believe in the black stereotypes of black men, like the example ghetto culture. Have they been exposed to that?
Black stereotypes?
Yeah, like ghetto culture.
Largely no. And to be honest, for the 12 and a half years while I was there, I was largely insulated from ghetto culture. And particularly entitlement, I had no idea what entitlement was until I came back. And it was like this weird thing. But ghetto, the big booty, fighting, all that.
The big booty.
I came back and I was like, "What is this? What's going on?" No, man, you don't have any of that there. No, it doesn't exist.
One other so
I'm serious. That's what I call it, a big booty. I'm like, what's that booty going on? I
No,
don't know.
no,
What's
true.
that? What?
It's true, man. All that plastic surgery is just disgusting, to be honest. But
Yeah,
carry on,
you don't do that. It's like Japanese are like, what's wrong with you? Like, you don't do that. So, I mean, I still look at it like, why do you have a booty like that? I don't get it.
Go on, Thomas.
So you were mentioning the Yakuza. That's one. Yeah, like the Yakuza. Yeah, everyone in the UK, actually, not everyone in the West has this fascination with organized crime. Here in the UK, we have like the Sicilian mafia, and that's in America. In the UK, we have the Cray twins. All these British gangsters. In Japan, the Yakuza. Is it true that they still have how can I say, power and influence among the major Japanese cities, particularly Tokyo, which is the capital?
Not really. And just honestly speaking, since 97, since 95, what I've been doing since things with Japan, most of the Yakuza content that I've seen has been with Hollywood. Even in Japanese movies, they don't have them. The people know they're there, they know what's going on, but they don't really have influence. Now, just so you understand how strong the laws are in Japan, there's only about 10 gun deaths per year in Japan, and almost all of them are from Yakuza shooting other Yakuza. And when this happens, when the police know that there's a gunfight, the police raid the Yakuza. They know where they are, and they will go raid their offices and look for the people who are having guns. And that's it. So even the Yakuza have even said on television, they fear the police regarding gun usage, and they try to refrain from it so that they are not put into jail. So, yeah. But on the other side, is that a lot of police officers get jobs with the Yakuza when they retire at 60. So that means that they were under the influence of them while they were serving their years as being police officers. And just nobody talks about that. That's just the way it is.
That's fascinating because I did research in the past about the Yakuza, and I'm just thinking like learning this revelation right now because I used to think maybe it's because of Hollywood's dramatization of the Yakuza. They had a lot of power and influence, but I was wondering now learning this revelation, how did they lose that power and influence? Was it because they're not relevant anymore? Are they dying off?
They never had it. That was a
Wow.
Western concept. I'll give you another Western concept, the ninja.
Oh
So
yeah.
I in 12 and a half years, I rarely, if ever, heard anything about ninjas. I came back and people were talking to me about ninjas, ninja this, ninja that. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? The Japanese are talking about the samurai, the ronin. They're talking about how the samurai, what they did and what it meant, the daimyo, and their influence in Japan and the law and the system and how they made corporations, or things like that from medieval Japan. Those are the people they're talking about, because you have to, like, there's stations, there's train stations in Japan. They're a certain length away from each other. So why are they like that? Well, it's because of the distance the daimyo had to travel in one day when they had to go in Tokyo for half a year and actually serve under the Tokugawa shogunate to make sure that they weren't rebellious. That there's a reason for this, why it says. So those are the things you talk about. We never talked about ninja. So I came back to America again, and they're talking about it. I'm like, huh? And like I remember the Avengers or Kill Bill, and they're having all these like Yakuza and stuff. I'm sitting there watching, fascinated. I'm like, I never saw this in Japan. Like, what are you guys talking about? They would never be out in the open like this. It just never. What are you guys doing? So
Yeah, a lot of Americans need to be a lot more educated. But thank you very much for that, Theo. And Thomas, thank you for your questions, bro.
Wait, one more
Is that
question, bro. One more question, bro. It's if
okay?
speaking about ninja,
sure.
see, man, what two more? Speaking about ninjas, yeah. What about the history of There's this black samurai called Yasuke. Yasuke, the black samurai. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. Oh, good. Glad you know about that. Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Because they did the Netflix released an anime of Yasuke, the
Yeah,
black samurai. So
yeah,
I'm
that's
Yasuke.
wondering.
true. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true, bro. I read there's
That's
a
true.
book about it. If you read it, you can find it on Amazon. That's definitely true, bro.
oh,
Just
Thomas.
nice.
just ignore the mech suits and stuff in it.
All
Yeah.
right. What's your last question, Thomas? I need to roll through this very quickly, bro. It's late.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I know. What's the are the Japanese more conservative? Because I'm gonna have a feeling that they are, or
Yeah.
do they understand the are they more liberal? Well, what's your experience with the
I would
political
say that
spectrum?
they're more practical. They're liberal in the way that you're supposed to be liberal, in that you can do what you want, but not really. So, like Western liberalism dies in Japan. It will not make it. You have to work. There really is no welfare. There are no benefits. If you don't, they'll encourage you to work. They'll show you how to work. There's opportunities, but if you're not going to work, you're out. They don't care. You can die and just be homeless. They don't give a crap. You have to have there's universal health care. You have to participate in that. You don't have an option. But it's very good. I love their health care. So it's you can say it's liberal because you can drink your beer at 2:00 in the morning and urinate in the street and nobody's going to care. You can puke. I did that, and the police never care. They just come up to you and say, "Are you okay?" But outside of that, they're very traditional. They expect traditional values. You get married, you have a kid, you make babies. the wife stays home. We expect you to do that. If you're not doing that, what's wrong with you? If you're a wife and you're not making babies, what's wrong with you? You need to stay home and make babies. That's how they think.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks for that,
Thanks, man.
Theo. Thanks for those questions, Thomas. Appreciate that, bro. Melvin says he's from Jamaica. This is easily the most informative live stream I've ever heard. Facts, bro. Shout out to Theo for all the intel he's given. And this is what I'm talking about, brothers. You won't get this intel from anywhere else on this channel, only on my channel. So make sure you share this channel around with your friends who are struggling with women in America, in the UK, or whatever Western country they live in. Okay, let me go on to Uchis. What's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing
Just
good,
call me
bro.
Lucas.
Okay, how you doing, Lucas? How did you come across my channel? Are you an old subscriber or new subscriber?
I am a kind of, I subscribed probably like 3 months ago, and I think it's the same as what the other guys mentioned. The algorithm brought me here. I guess you worked that pretty well, the algorithm. But yeah, I saw the show and I was like, man, like y'all talking about Japan stuff. Me and my friends have been planning to travel to Japan for years, and we're really starting to save up money and get a chance to really start thinking about it. I don't know if I should. My question is, should I travel alone first?
Question for you. That's for you.
Okay, so you can travel in a group because when I went to Japan, I arrived there with a group of other English teachers. So it's actually good to be that's what I call the Gaijin house. One example of that is Oak House. You could actually you could Google Oak House International Guest House Tokyo, and you'll find this system. And there you definitely network with other foreigners. So that's good. Go ahead. That's what I did.
Okay.
But when you go out, sure you might go out with your other friends.
Yeah.
But going out by yourself, that's what I prefer to do. If you want to go for a Japanese girl, let's just go by yourself. If you're not really you're not hunting, go in a group of other foreigners. But the Japanese girls will be intimidated by a group of foreigners.
Ooh. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Informative. Cool.
Is that it, Lucas?
Man. I think. Well, what like sightseeing wise, what would be some unique things for me to do? One of the things I want to do is there's a black owned like manga or animation company that's supposed to be in Japan. I'm still researching about it, but I want to visit that. Is there anything else that you would recommend?
What are you
visiting? Man, almost everything. I would say nothing. I would say if it regards something, I think is nothing I wouldn't be interested. Like it's interested in Japan.
Okay, so I'll give you I'll give you 3 top things that I think you should do. First one is this is in Tokyo, Yokohama area.
Okay. Yokohama.
First one is Akihabara, or they say Akiba, the short form in Japanese. Akihabara is the tech center. Wild stuff there. Go there with open mind because they have some really wild stuff there. I had a lot of fun. Number 2 would be Yokohama Chinatown, and that Chinatown extends to the Yokohama Bay Area. It's wonderful. It's hard to leave. I was there. My mother, when she went to Japan, actually took her there. It is rocky and rolling. It is just, man, you eat so well, you just have a great time.
Good food.
The third place, I would Shibuya. Yeah, you got to go to Shibuya.
Shibuya.
The crosswalks. Usually, when they have photos of Japan, they either have Shinjuku or Shibuya. Shinjuku is a little dirty, so I don't want to recommend that.
Mhm.
Shibuya is where they have the great crosswalk in front of the train, and they have tens of thousands of people crossing over. That's where you can do some really crazy dating, and that's where I actually fell in love with Japanese girls. If I saw
Wow.
them in the summer and they have these beautiful dresses, and I was looking around, I was like, you guys are totally hot. I've never seen women this beautiful in my life. And there's just flocks of hot chicks all the time. That's where you go. It's
I'm
fun.
on it.
Awesome. Thanks for that,
Thank you.
Lucas, and thank you, Theo. So I'm going to end the live stream now. I think everyone's on the panel has given their thoughts and opinions. I want to thank Theo for taking his time, almost 4 hours of him giving a lot of intel. Theo, that's much appreciated, Theo. Thank you very
Sure.
much. I definitely want to set up a live stream with you in the future regarding Eastern European women, which should be very good as well. So I'll get in touch with you on Twitter to get that up or any social
Sure, no
media
problem.
platform.
Anytime.
Awesome. So thank you everyone for watching. If you're new to the stream, please hit the like button. Your likes will push this video out to other brothers who need this intel. Make sure you comment and make sure you subscribe too. Also, when I end this live stream, can you please write some comments down in the video saying this is a great live stream, shout out to Theo, because comments actually push out the video to other people throughout the algorithm. So make sure you comment under this video. This has been one of my best live streams. Theo is a very intelligent man who has given us a lot of his wisdom, experience regarding him living in Japan. So that is much appreciated. As always, if you want to get in touch with me, here's my Twitter page. I suggest you follow me and DM me on Twitter. I will get back to you. Here is also my Facebook group as well. So if you want to join that group, send me a request and I will add you to my private Facebook group. I'm also on Instagram as well. So follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, and I will also get back in touch with you. So thank you very much, Theo. Thank you to everyone who took part in this live stream. Almost 4 hours. I'm going to log off now and go and sleep. It's pretty late over here in the UK. It's sunny over there in America, right, Theo? What time is it in Austin, Texas?
No, it's 11:20 p.m.
11:20 p.m. It's quite late there. I see. Yep. Okay, awesome. Yeah, Theo, I'm going to leave you to it. Look after yourself, bro. I will be in touch regarding our next live stream. And in the meantime, everyone, take care. Like, comment, subscribe, and be in touch. Definitely comment once I publish this video on my channel. Your comments will be very much appreciated. Hit the like button if you've not liked the video, and I will see you guys on my next live stream. Take it easy, look after yourselves, and peace out. See ya.
Oh, yeah, see me.
Awesome. Okay.